to save, say, 10,000 by the end of the year, after every month, and I was talking to Emma, the VP marketing for Bizo Money, and she was saying that they have an app where once you set a goal for yourself of your financial goals, it actually tells you how much you need to incrementally save to be able to hit that goal. And so if you need to save, say, let's make it easy on my maths, 12,000 by the end of the year, every month you have to have saved 1,000. If it's the end of April and you only have 500 to get in there, you have some work to do, okay? So you may have to cut back, start budgeting, start planning better, and so on. So that's number 3, have sensory acuity. The 4th thing is have behavioral flexibility. All that means is change what is not working. Every day, every moment that you're alive, you have free will, you have a chance to make decisions. Decide on what to do differently. Don't give up and say, oh, who was it? I think when Caleb was talking to the audience earlier, somebody said he invested some money and it's all gone. Don't say because that happened to you once, you're never, ever, ever, ever going to trust anybody again and invest your money. Just learn from your mistakes. One of the rules I live by is no failure, only feedback. What can you learn differently based on what you experienced to help you move on better, all right? So use those lessons to help you make better decisions. And he actually said, he wants to now find out links to investments where it won't just disappear, it's trustworthy, and so on. And that comes with doing your research. Actually, there's a book written by Kim Kiyosaki called It's Time to Rise, actually about women. And Caleb, you said you can see more women. I can see more men. But just for you, maybe instead of saying cash is king, we should start saying cash is queen, right? Because I like that too, all right? And she, Kim Kiyosaki, whose father wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, she said there are 3 things you need to do when you want to create wealth. You want to aspire, which is the same as knowing what you want. Decide on the things you want to achieve. And then she says acquire knowledge, acquire the right network, acquire the right information. But most importantly, you've got to apply it. So many, and when McAfee was speaking, he talked about how very often people go to university for 4 years, they leave, on everything they have is just theoretical. If we all applied everything we had learned in a practical way, we wouldn't have even 10% of the issues we have as a country and as a nation. I know that for a fact. It's because we don't apply. Everything has become about theory. So those 3 things I picked up from Kim Kiyosaki's book I think is very useful. So aspire, acquire, and apply. And that's what I meant when I talked about behavioral flexibility. Learn information. Every day you learn something new, apply it, talk to people who've done it before, and move on from there. Finally, and this is where the main crux of my talk is about, have the mindset and habits of excellence. Is it Henry Ford who said, if you believe you can or you can't, you are right. The mind is so powerful that everything that we tell it or we believe, through our thoughts and feelings that we think is possible, is actually possible. When my husband and I decided to move to Ghana some 12 years ago, people said, why are you going to Ghana? You left at a young age, you have no mates, nobody knows you. They gave me all the reasons we shouldn't come to Ghana. I look back 12 years ago and I think it was the best decision we ever made, but we only did it because we believed it was good for us, good for our 3 sons, good for our future. It's what we wanted. A lot of people don't even believe they deserve wealth. They think I was born I'm from a poor family. They are rich people. We are. Cancel all of that from your mind. There's absolutely nothing that if you decide you want and you're willing to work for, that you cannot achieve. We're all breathing the same air. There isn't a particular air for the so-called rich and that for the so-called poor. What may make you feel worthy or deserving would be your experiences maybe as a child. Maybe you saw that you didn't have, others had more. Caleb talked about the bathroom. Something as basic as your bathroom. If you make your bathroom very beautiful and comfortable, you would feel like, okay, I'm also rich. And richness or wealth isn't just even about money. It's about feeling like you're worthy, you're deserving, you're special, you're as good as, you can be better. So I want to encourage and challenge you all that even if you have been told you're from a poor family, even if there's a seed sown in your mind that you can't be as rich or as wealthy as you want to be, I want to dare to challenge you today that that is not true. It's a lie. It's a lie, and people who have maybe believed it in the past or told you that lie, maybe they thought they're trying to protect you because they think if you stay humble and modest and don't want too much, you won't be disappointed. But disappointments in life will come. They come every day, but your mindset and using the tools available to you and having access to the right people and the right information is what will challenge and change your mindset. Now, before I finish, I want to do a little exercise with you all, where I want you to visualize how your life would be 2 years from now, how you want your life to be 2 years from now. And then I want you, after the exercise, to write down some things, some actions that you know you must take between now and that 2-year period to make that happen. You can call it prophecy, you can call it anything, but I really believe that if you yourself are able to do this and believe it wholeheartedly, it will come to pass. I'm saying this from personal experience. When the first day my husband emailed me at work, and I was working for Societe Generale Asset Management in London at the time, and he emailed me saying, "What would you do if we moved to Ghana?" We had 3 young, I think at the time we had 2 boys and I was pregnant, and I thought, move to Ghana, what are you talking about? But I said, okay. So I sent him a whole list of things I would do if I moved to Ghana. So he called me and said, "When did you start planning to go to Ghana, Jennifer?" I said, "I've not been planning, but you're asking, so I'm telling you. As God is my witness, almost everything I said I would do when I moved to Ghana, I am doing now. Speaking, training," thank you. Speaking, training, coaching, wanting to impact lives, wanting to influence, wanting to challenge people's mindset about what is possible because we're Ghanaians or Africans or black or young or whatever. It's been my dream and my goal to help people realize that as long as you're willing to change your mindset and do the work, because you're going to have to do the work anyway, but why not do the work in a way that's positive and aligns to what you think and believe in order to have the wealth you want? So if I can indulge you, please close your eyes. We'll do a little visualization. Take a couple of deep breaths. So in through your nose and out through your mouth, or out through your nose, whatever is comfortable for you. One more. And I'd like you to just breathe normally, but focus on your breathing. And I'd like you to just really feel the weight of your body in your seat. So feel your back leaning, feel your thighs and your bottom on the seat. Really make contact. Bring your minds to your arms and your hands wherever they're lying. And I want you to imagine it's January 29th, 2024, 2 years from now. And I want you to look at your bank statement. And as you look at your bank statement, there's a certain amount of money that you now have in there. And this could be either, is saved, it's an investment, it's with a bank. And I want you to even look at your environment and your surroundings. Where are you? Are you at work? What kind of place do you work at? Where do you live? What's your environment like? And as you imagine this, I want you to imagine it the way you want it to be, all right? So there's a particular area you want to move into, see yourself living in that area. If you want to have a certain amount of money saved in investments, I want you to see that figure in your mind. And I want you to really enjoy the feeling that in just 2 years after attending the Money Summit, this is where you are now. And even better, you know that it's only going to grow over the years as you're going to apply everything you learned today to be better at creating wealth. And I want you to just enjoy that feeling, that emotion. When Diana mentioned $100,000 and people went, ooh, that feeling of, wow, I'm in this financial situation. Either I'm building or I own a home or my business is thriving. And you just enjoy the joy and the happiness of having access and being able to afford the things you need to afford in 2 years' time. All right? So just enjoy that feeling of, yes, I'm good. And remember that in the 2 years, across challenges, but you'll overcome them. Every resource you need will come to you. Every person who needs to be part of the journey is readily available. They could even be in this room today. Whether it's a resource person or somebody sitting next to you or somebody you speak to at the coffee break. Everybody, or they're out there somewhere, everybody you need to get you to that 2-year mark is accessible to you. So just take another deep breath and enjoy that feeling of, yes, I'm good. I've learned, I've applied. I may have made some mistakes, but I came through them. I didn't feel like I failed. I've taken the feedback, and here I am now. And just capture a beautiful picture of yourself that day, 2 years into the future. And now ask yourself, what are 3 things that you need to do? What actions must you take? What habits, what changes must you make in order for that day 2 years from now to become a reality? So what did you have to start doing? What did you have to stop doing? What did you keep doing in order to make that transition and be where you are 2 years from now, happy and just enjoying a beautiful life where you're learning to create wealth? So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, I'll give you a minute to just write down those 3 things that you're going to need to do, whether you're stopping something, starting something, or keeping something going that you're already doing. All right? So if you've got those 3 things, and this works because your future self knows the journey that's ahead of you. If you're able to get there, you would know what it took you to get there, and you know yourself more than anybody else. So I'm going to count down to 0, and when I say 0, open your eyes and just write down those 3 things that you feel or you know you need to start doing in order to achieve that. So one last deep breath. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and just capture those 3 things that you believe you need to start doing or stop or continue so that that dream that you've seen, you've actually been to the promised land, you've seen that it's possible. In just 2 years, how your life can change. And I'll challenge you to do this regularly to see what else lies ahead. Is my time up? Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Caleb, you can have your mic back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together one more time for our speaker, Jennifer Jiman. That was lovely. You've made me see myself a rich man already. Now, when I closed my eyes, I was globe-trotting, you understand? I thought it was too early to be globe-trotting in a private jet, but it is possible. Everything is possible. The mindset, you say, I'll be baffing this man. You want to find Tetepo for me? He wants to find Wahala for me. Baffing in the private jet. Please, you didn't hear that from me. Please, if you have your smartphone and you're on Snapchat, there's something exciting going on there. So if you check the filter on your right-hand corner of the thing, then you go for Explore. Once you go there, you see the Bezos Smart Filter there. When you take your pictures, use it. Or use it. The Snapchat, what you understand? Yeah, the filter. And put it there. Then you can share for the world to see that we are becoming rich as the minutes go by. We are getting richer, aren't we? It's starting from the mindset, and I'm so sure that I'm getting there. So Harrison Ahogba is going to be our next speaker, okay? Now, let me tell you a little bit about him, and then he'll join us shortly. In 15 minutes, he's going to engage us. Harrison has over 15 years of working experience in the banking and service industry with exceptional specialty in business development. Currently, He is the CEO of Springs Premier and the Vice President, Sales and Distribution at Investcorp. Please put your hands together and welcome Harrison Ahogba. In 15 minutes, Money 3.0. Good to see you, Harrison.
Hi, thanks. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. The sound of your voice does not look like you want to be rich or you want to be wealthy. Good afternoon. All right, so my name is Harrison. I'm going to do this interactively. If you have any question at all, please let us know. So, I comfortably speak Gantry, Ewe, Hausa. But I don't speak French. And I'll tell you why later. So the theme is very interesting. But for you coming first, I would have said you have stolen my slides. So there are some key things I want us to understand and appreciate. The first one is that you guys are blessed to be here today. If I had had this opportunity even 6 years ago, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years ago, I'm very sure I might have made very profound decisions more than I have done today. So it's not a mistake. It's not an accident that you're here. Let's put our hands together for the team. You are not clapping. Please, did you charge anybody for coming? It's free. Why? No, we should have charged. We do this and we charge, right? So I guess that's why you're not clapping. You don't appreciate what goes into this, right? Okay, so for starters, I just want us to understand that wealth as a state, either in your mind or where you are, it goes beyond money. Wealth goes beyond money. So don't be fixated that we are talking about wealth. So most of you when you say wealth is money. And no, right? The second thing is that wealth creation is not an event. Don't think that it is an event. Thank you. Okay, so quickly. So this is what I'm talking about. You can look on the slide. I'll make it available to the team when we are done. So I'm here now. I'm saying that it is not an event, right? It's a process. And the funny thing is that it is not ending. And I'll tell you why. Some people were wealthy some time ago, and today they are not. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, great. You are with me. So now, I also want to put us to the fact that when we talk about wealth, look at all the other things I've listed here. We have an idea. It can be a resource. It can be a network. In fact, when you take your phone now and you look at the contact you have, the question you should ask yourself is, how much are you worth based on the contacts that you have? Some of your friends now, when they call you, they are more of a liability than an asset. True or false? So when you look at your phone and your contact, they are not going to translate into an idea, a business, or something that can change your life in the 2 years that Jennifer spoke about. Then I'm wondering the kind of friends you have on your phone. There should be somebody you should call and discuss something that can change the narrative from where you are and where you want to get to in the next 2 years that we just spoke about. Are you with me? Now look at the next one. Again, wealth is about our health. I put asterisks around the happiness and the success because it's a state of mind. Whatever you call yourself as a success or happiness, I mean, it is you. Somebody is successful because he has eaten gobet this morning. He's fine. That is his definition of success. Somebody is happy because he's bought a new iPhone. But for you, you've had a couple of iPhones, so do you understand? So it's a state of mind. Now, I want us to challenge ourselves to look at this value chain for money or wealth. We have 3 types of people. I'm going to tell you who they are. We have the poor, we have the rich, and we have the wealthy. Now the poor, she spoke about it already. I know you are poor. You know you are poor, so I don't need to explain. Is that not it? We know all the things that poverty is about, right? We know. You don't know. You refuse it. Again, I said it's a state of mind. Fine. So all the poor things, fine. Away. Now, most of us aspire to be rich. But you see, there's another level that is the state of being wealthy. Riches is temporal. And if you don't apply the right principles, strategies, you will not be able to move to the next level. And you and I know there were people who we said, Nani Papa was kapa. Is that not it? But when they give you that inheritance, because you were not there when the riches was created, how it was created, and where it was going, you will not be able to manage it. But when we talk of wealthy people, it is generational and transgenerational. So 15, 20, 30 years, the family is still making wealth, especially when you go to the developed country. Third generational business leaders taking over Coca-Cola, taking over the company Lacoste and all. So again, look at this. Where are you? First, second, or third? And the good news is that you can be at any particular point in time based on what you want to achieve. Now, look at this for me. I've written some 5 commandments. I'll quickly go through it. I know we have 10, but this one is 5. So the first one is that you say that man know thyself. Look at yourself in the mirror. How can you become financially independent? Where are you now? Like she said, in 2 years' time, where do you want to be? You want to buy a car in 2 years' time, and the first car you want to buy is G-Wagon. Are they? Why? G-Wagon. You've never bought a bicycle before. It's great to be ambitious. I appreciate the faith character, but you have to start from somewhere. Look at yourself in the mirror. See where you are. How will I get to where I want to get to? What means would I use? Who do I need? You remember I spoke about networking as a wealth criteria. Now, I have number 2, that you have a wealth and investment objective. Everybody in life has a certain objective, and you must have one if you don't. But it's not static. Don't be fixated on your objective. It can change depending on what things are happening. So Jennifer, like I said, you stole my slide. So what is happening as you're coming to Academic City, you go to Hacho, there's a detour. It shouldn't stop you from coming here. You should find another way to come to Academic City. Even if you want to fly, you can fly. If you want to run, but the most important thing is you must be at Academic City. So here, your objective, it varies from one person to the other. And again, let me warn you, don't look at my objective because we are the same age, we earn the same salary, we are doing the same course. You say that because Harrison wants to do this, I also want to do it. It doesn't work like that. You must be special and unique in your approach. There's something special in you that I don't have and I can't have. I can copy, I can learn from you, but it is unique to you. So you have to unearth that thing to have this objective met. So look at it. Some are educational. Someone build a house. Somebody wants to be like comfortable in retirement. Somebody marriage. Whatever it is an objective. And each one will determine how you're going to approach it. If you want to get married now, you have to start thinking, how? Do you even have a partner? What kind of partner do you want? Short, tall, like whatever. Round, obiani in there, you get me. But at the end of the day, you must start from somewhere. The next one is that you have to plan your finance. Planning is very important. And here, I have proposed 3 steps. Short term, medium, and long term. What is my short term might be your long term. What is my long term might be your short term, but there should be a plan. There are some things you have to achieve them almost immediately. Some of them you defer for 2-3 years, some of them 5 years. Based on what you want to achieve, then you set your financial goals. So here, your short term can change into medium, and even sometimes your long term can change into short. Are you with me? So don't be fixated that I want to buy that car in 3 years. So if there are opportunities for you to explore before the 3 years, say no, we see 3 years, 3 years and I'm making. It doesn't work like that. There are ways you can truncate it, right? Now look at it. I'm proposing an approach for investment I call the 50-30 approach, and 50% of your funds would go into the necessities of life for you. Of course, rent, like all those things are very important. Even that, you have to be very careful. Some of us, where we are living, we can do better, right? If I say better, it means I can cut down the cost. Young guy, you have a 2-bedroom house, you are not married. What do I use the other room for? Some of us here, the phones we are using, you can buy a land now. True or false? And unknowingly, you are using less than 5% of the capability and functionality of the phone. Apart from WhatsApp, Snapchat, you don't even know how to set alarm on the phone. You don't know how to set it. But your phone is very expensive. So ask yourself, what mindset, like I said, when you look yourself in the mirror, where are you going? Now, I have number 4 there that talks about you must create streams of income. You are amazingly, God has blessed us, no matter your religion or whatever you believe in, you can do more than you are doing. And your ability to sustain yourself would mean that there should be something more you should do. You go to school and by 4:33, lectures have closed. Between now and the next day, what do you do with your time? Why can't you learn a trade? Why can't you go to YouTube and learn something? How to bake, how to sew, how to sing. Do something. You might not know that's the wealth you are creating out of an idea, but you wait and you waste time. You sit and you talk excessively on the phone. You buy a phone credit, 10 cedis a day. A week, that is 50 cedis. A month, that is 200 cedis. Only credit. The water has not come yet. The water has not come yet. That is only credit. 200 cedis a month. And what hurts me, Caleb, is that you'll be talking and when you have 1 minute remaining, say, "Pesime for back." Then you go and recharge and you continue. You see, you can't. So I put here that we should be able to starve our distractions and feed our need. Thank God you guys are young. I did a presentation in Takwa last week and I saw elderly people. I told them, especially our women, every funeral you are buying a cloth. Every funeral cloth you have it. How many minutes do you spend at the funeral? Sometimes the person who is dead, you don't even know the person, but you go and file pass. It doesn't make sense. You have to picture your future. And the best way to create wealth is to starve these distractions. They will come. People will die. Sincerely. There will be outdoorings, there will be parties, but ask yourself, what value would I get from that engagement if it's not going to be personally beneficial to me? And sometimes, like you mentioned, all rich people appear selfish. It's not because they are. They know how difficult it is to attract proper investment, even network, to be where they are. So don't blame them. This is the picture I was telling you about, 50-30, your wants, your needs, okay? You can manage it based on what you want to achieve. Now, a lot of people will tell me, Harrison, this thing here is bluffo. I can't save, I can't invest. My salary or my allowance is low. I'm going to prove to you why I think you can do that. Everybody here, if you are, your stipend from your parents is even 200 cedis, and they increase it to 400 cedis, sincerely, within 2 hours, it will still not be enough. It's a state of mind. For some reason, suddenly, when the extra 200 came, you realize your phone screen, you have to change it. Then you go and change the phone screen. On the road to change the phone screen, you will see a shirt, you buy it. Before you realize the 200, it is still not going to. So don't let us make the argument about income not being enough. It will never going to be enough. Number two, we don't plan, we don't budget. So immediately the money comes, it's gone. You should have a plan. You have a certain plan. So the first 100 cedis that come, you are taking it somewhere because you have a project. But if you don't have any plan, the money will come, and the next one you'll be like, Charlie, yesterday, be like, now I guess on 20 cedis. So, and I left 20 pesos. You won't even remember what you bought. Are you with me? Now look at the next one. We lack financial knowledge. The reason why I said the team here is doing awesome. This is beyond academics. We are sharing our life experiences. And like I said, if some of us had this opportunity when we were in a tertiary institution, better off, isn't it? Now, huge financial burdens. As you are here, you have not even graduated from school, but you are owing. You have not graduated, though. You are owing. And what are you owing? Shoes, watches. What again? Oh, you say it. You know it's not you. Just say it. What? Bags, wigs. No, sir. Think about it. You have started on a wrong footing. You have to live within your means. Why are you living above your means? So much financial burden on you. You can't study that. So if you need only one bag for the term, it doesn't matter. That's okay. With time, you get more. Change the mindset. Save that 50 pesos, 20 pesos, and you can get more of the handbags or whatever it is in the future. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Otherwise, you will not have enough to save. I'm saying here, low market confidence. When Caleb was talking to you, somewhat people said, Charlie, our funds have locked up and all. I can understand. I didn't want to speak about it, but a lot of things have gone on from the regulation side. In fact, every day we hear people die in a car accident, but you still want to buy a car. Why? You are hoping that you drive better. Is that not it? So things are happening. Don't say never to whatever life throws at you. And then the last one, which is very hurting, which most of us are culpable. Even as I'm speaking to you, you are resolving in your heart and identify yourself with Jennifer that, Charlie, I will save. You have said it too. Next year will come, you have not done it. You procrastinate every minute, every week, every day, every month, and you will never do it. So our presence here would have been useless, isn't it? But you have to act. She said we should take action. And it's like, now, you live here, I will do it. And do it. Don't say, I'll do it and you'll be waiting for another time. Now, this is a very interesting slide I want to show you. Anytime we talk about financial planning, people think that, oh, I'm young and I'll retire later. The issue of financial independence is about the future now. And she told you the future is like today. The way you are behaving now, yourself, just look at yourself. The way you are behaving now, Do you think that your future is bright? No, I'm just asking you. It's a question. No, the way you are now, the way you are doing, the kind of friends you have, the kind of clothes you are buying, the kind of phones and laptops, like, do you think it is bright? No, if it is, fine. Because you see, success and failure, i.e. being poor or wealthy, is predictable. You must work at it. It is not, and it doesn't just happen. You must work hard at it. So if you are telling me that I want to be this in the future, the house that you spoke about at East Legon Estate, Santon. Santon is now East Legon Hills, right? Okay. Or you want to be at Trasaco, whatever. The people at Trasaco, they were not doing the things you are doing now. If they were, they wouldn't be there. So whilst you are aspiring to be there, ask yourself, what are they doing or what did they do? So I have a very unfortunate picture here. This one, I wouldn't want to mention the name. You know what it is. It's happening. At a point in his life, he was prime. He has the energy like you do. He has the networks and all. Now he's struggling to survive. These persons also did the same. They also had a point in their life, had a career. Now they are quite comfortable. There's a difference. It's a mindset. So we say the way you are going to lay your bed, that's how you lie on it. That's why I asked the question that the way you are looking at me, as you can see me, I can also see you. Do you think the way you are living your life in the next 2 years, in the next 5, 10 years, you'll be where you want to be? Hello? Why are you tired? Hello? So I'm saying this. Look at this. Everybody has a certain age bracket. And for retirement planning and financial independence, for wealth creation, look at this diagram. Have in mind that I want to have at least 1 million in the next couple of years. I don't know, Caleb, how you want to do it. But look at the age bracket with Bezos Susu, the app that they are going to give to you. If you are able to save, if you are around 25 years, you can see this one. And you are saving 88.63. Now, God willing, Ghana 60 years we work, right? And now because of technology and all, you can even work more than 60 years. Do you get it? If you are 25 years, I'm proving to you with an average rate of 15%. If you are saving 88.63%, in 35 years' time, you have 1 million Ghana cedis. It's very simple. And somebody will say, Charlie, 35 years, dosu. When last did we vote for Akufo-Addo? Were we not here? 8 years will come, and before you realize, you were here first year, second year, now you're almost done. You were in SHS, you thought first year, you were crying when they dropped you in school, you wanted to follow your parents. Now you are in the university. Before you realize, you are out. 4 years have passed. And you ask yourself, you have done nothing. You don't have anything, only your bag, plenty shoes, and a lot of debt. Even as a student. So, if I were you and I'm 25, to get my 1 million faster, I won't save 88.63. I will do 100, a 120, to quickly pull the 35 years forward. Is that not it? Hello? Look at it. If you are 30 years, 179. But somebody who is 40, you are doing 762. By the time you are 45, 1,064. By that time you have children. By that time you are paying fees. You are already, there's pressure. You cannot do much. So the earlier you start acting and thinking wealthy and putting these things in place, there is no time. There's no better time now. So whatever excuse you give is right. Whatever success story you want to give us, it's okay. But the question is, how much time do you have? And every minute that you don't invest or you don't save, you are losing value. And you will never be able to recall that time. And it is gone. So I'll be ending here quickly to tell you that other investment options are available. Stocks, real estate, gold and all. If you have any question, let me ask no later. But to finally end my slide, I work with an investment firm called InvestCorp. We are into fund and asset management. We are located in Jowlu. So if you have any interest in do your personal finance training, just like we are doing, we partner Bezo Money. So we are very, to give you comfort, regulated by the Security and Exchange Commission. So my name is Harrison. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have enjoyed the session.
Please, let's do it better for Harrison. Oh, man. You know, earlier when they said fill in the blank places, and they said rich people are, some people said they are mean. No, I think this, our speaker, he's very mean. Please put your hands together for him one more time. Honestly, Charlie, the way he has done it, I'm beginning to question myself. Because the life I'm living, and the picture he showed, you remember the picture? The two people. Charlie, slow, man. But as well, I mean, this year, I'm so clear in my mind why it's very important that we are not poor. We don't remain where we have been because of a story that came up sometime 6th January. Please pay attention. So my attention was brought to a 7-year-old boy who swallowed a nail, okay? And the family needed about $3,000 for the cardio department at Kolebu to operate on the boy. And funny enough, it is poor people's children who often find themselves in these strange situations. You never find a rich man's son swallow a nail. What are you doing with that? It doesn't make sense. And $3,000, when you sell the entire family, they may not be able to get it. That means that the boy could have literally died. You see? So we have to make money. But the discipline, that is the seminal. But let me take my mask off so that I can smile for you to see that I'm smiling. You see, Harrison was mean. But our next speaker, she's lovely. Say lovely. Lovely. Nashoko is our next speaker, people. No, I said Nashoko is our next speaker, people. Are you ready for Nashoko, people? Nashoko, come and tell us your story. I mean, you started very early. We saw you on our screens. You've been a screen goddess for a very long time. You are still going strong and lovely. At least you are not asking us for 20 pesos to run your house and things. You see that? Stray bullet. I'm very sorry. You say, it hit you. So please put your hands together one more time for Nashoko. We are happy to have you. Good to see you.
Hello, everybody. I dropped my mask. Okay. Hello, everybody. We still don't sound very rich, do we? Hello, everybody. Awesome. I'm so happy to be here. It's always a real pleasure to be here at Academic City. And when I was called to come and talk about at the Money Summit, I thought, are you sure? Me? I mean, people go to school and study and learn about money. People who have PhDs, they should be talking about money. And I was told, you know what, just come tell us what you do. I'm not rich yet. I hope to be rich soon. Amen. But I have also come to learn that, you know, wealth isn't always millions of dollars. Wealth is really an abundance of anything that is of value to you. So if you value family and friendship and love, romantic love, or whatever kind of love, and you have that in abundance, that's some kind of wealth, right? If you value fancy shoes and nice bags and expensive wigs and, you know, looking good, and you have an abundance of that, that's a wealth of shoes and bags and wigs. If you like money and you have an abundance of it, now that is wealth too, isn't it? It is. So I would like us to think about wealth in the generality of it. Having an abundance of anything that brings you real pleasure. Now we all know that money is important. In fact, while we hear the part of the Bible that says that money is the root of all evil or something like that, I like to read the part of the Bible that says that money answereth all things. There is nothing that money cannot do for you. Anyone who tells you that money cannot make you happy, tell them to transfer it to your account so you can check something. Just send it to me, let me check. Let me just be sure that you're right. Because actually money does give you all things. And if it doesn't, I'm sure you've all heard the joke, it's more comfortable to cry at the back of a Mercedes-Benz than it is to cry by the roadside waiting for trotro. So even if the money cannot bring me happiness, I'd like to cry in some comfort, right? So by all means, money is important. Money can give you good education. Money can bring you to the right people. It's easier for wealthy people to meet great people than it is for poor people. It's true. It's easier for wealthy people to eat well, live well, go to the right places, have good health care, even drink quality water, simple water. It's easier for people who have money to get good water than it is for those who don't. So by all means, let us all make money. Now, I'm going to tell you my little story. I don't come from a fancy background. I come from a very, very modest home. My mother is a Makola woman. My father is a poultry farmer. I grew up at Teshin Triblo. I went to community school at Teshin. I went to Daras Preparatory School just down the road. The first time I left Teshin was to go to Benkum Secondary School at Late Kwiapem. Benkum, yeah, the one around Nifa. That was the first time I left Teshin. So I've always been a very, home girl in my corner, in my neighborhood, and my friends are all in the hood. When I went to university, I went to GIJ, I realized that I had to start, chipping in. Because my mother and my father had taken care of my sisters and I all our lives. And at the university level, there are things you want that you can't ask your parents for, right? You can tell your parents to buy you books and pay for your classes and extra lectures and stuff. You can even ask them for allowance for clothes. But you can't ask your mother to give you 2,000 Ghana cedis for Brazilian hair, or can you? You can't ask your father to give you 8,000 Ghana cedis for iPhone 13 Pro Max. Can you? Oh, wait, you guys can. Okay, because for a moment I thought, okay. There are things that you want that you can't ask your parents for. So I was at that point in my life, in level 200 at GIJ, where I felt like, oh, I need this and I need that, and I can't really rely on my parents for those things. So I got a job at TV Africa. At first, I was just volunteering and, hanging around the presenters and hanging around the camera crew every time they came around campus to do Vox Pops. Vox Pops are those little videos in the news. So when you're watching the news and then maybe Nanaba Namwa says, and so I'd like to take you to the streets of Accra where we spoke to 3 hawkers. Then you see 3 hawkers, outside the studio on the street talking. That's a Vox Pop. So it's out of the studio, man on the street production. The TV stations came to GIJ a lot to do Vox Pops when they wanted to talk to young people because we were journalism students. And so obviously we were interested in being in front of the camera. So every time they came, I would go to them and volunteer and ask them, oh, can I get you people? Because, in them days, everybody was kind of shy. When someone tells you to do something, the first thing you say is no. And then you think about it, and then you say yes. So, oh, do you want to do a Vox Pop? Oh, no, I'm shy. Oh, please, no, I don't know. And then, they have to convince you. And I don't know why we did that, but that's what it was. So, I was the one who did the convincing. And I'll bring people around and they'll do the Vox Pops. And that's how I started volunteering for TV Africa. And after some time, I got a job there at TV Africa. And I was paid 300 Ghana cedis a month. That was my starting salary. So, 300 cedis, even at that time, was so small. And I went to school at GIJ, which is around the police headquarters, near fire service. And TV Africa is after Circle, near Fanais. I don't know if you guys know that side of town. And there was no way I could live on 300 Ghana cedis or even rely on 300 Ghana cedis for my transportation because there was no direct car from police headquarters to TV Africa. You have to take drop-in at some point. And 300 Ghana cedis for 31 days, it was going to be tough. So I would walk from GIJ, sometimes all the way, there's some Lungus through Ridge to Circle, and then I'll take a car from Circle to TV Africa. Or I'll take Trotro from GIJ to Circle, and then I will walk from Circle to TV Africa. When I get to Fanais, I'll buy one Fanais and put it in my handkerchief. When I get to the TV Africa checkpoint, the gate, I enter the air condition, take the Fanais out of my hanky and put the cold hanky on my face for a long time. if you are ever in the sun, right, and you enter a cool room, try that. It immediately exfoliates your face, and you look like you just stepped out of an AC room. You don't look like a hustler coming out of the sun. So that's what I used to do. And then I go in so that I could save some of the money that I was earning. Now, my mother told me, as soon as I got my first salary, that you're a Christian girl, and we believe in tithing. I go to the Church of Pentecost, so I believe in tithing. And I believe that when you pay your tithe, you get more money. You don't have to believe it if you don't believe it. But it's a matter of, it's a faith thing. It's faith-based, strictly faith-based. So if you don't believe in it, that's fine, but that's just me. So, there's actually scripture which says, if you bring your tithes to my storehouse, I'll open up the gates of heaven, the floodgates of heaven, and I'll bless you abundantly. And I think it's true, because every time I don't pay my tithes, I kind of lose money, but that's just me. So here's the thing. My mother said you have to pay 10% of your 300 Ghana cedis to church. That's 30. Leaving 270. I said, okay, I will try. I want God to bless me. I want more money. So I would take 30 cedis and save that and take that to church and pay my tithe. And then she said, you have to invest 10%, another 10% of the money. That one, you don't touch it at all. When you are getting married, you take it to your marital home. That's what my mother said. So I was like, okay, so another 30 cedis. That leaves, my math is bad, 240? Right, that leaves 240 Ghana cedis. And I said, okay. And then she said, after investing or saving that, and that second 10%, you need to save another 10%, which is an emergency fund. That if you suddenly need something, suddenly something has happened, they call you that your grandmother has swallowed a cutlass, and everyone is contributing. You don't want to go and borrow money for that. So that's supposed to be an emergency fund. I tell you, I was about 18 or 19 at the time. And I'm so grateful to my mother for teaching me this, because I have done this since that age, and I still do this. Whenever I earn money, the first thing I do is pay my tithe. And I'm so happy that, even though people think it's some way, I'm happy churches are accepting mobile money now. Because holding on to money to Sunday sometimes is difficult. Because sometimes before your money comes, it's already spent. So as soon as I see an alert, I transfer 10% to my church tithe mobile money number. And then I transfer a second 10% to my savings account. And then I send an instruction for 20% to treasury bills. 60% of my money, I do not spend it. And I've done this for years. I've done it for so long. I don't know how many years now. It's like, so that's 40%, I beg your pardon. The remaining 60 is what I spend. I use it for everything. Like the 60%, I use it for everything. If I show you my phone right now, I have in my notes, I have January expenditure, February expenditure, March expenditure. I always have that. And then when I see things I like on Instagram that I screenshot, you know all the screenshots you have that you never buy? You know those ones? Yeah, I have like thousands of screenshots. So at the end of every month, I decide which of the screenshots I'm actually going to activate. And you know how the Instagram shops hate it when you come and ask them how much? And then they tell you, say, okay, send me pictures. They send you 10 pictures and you still not buy. It gets to a point when you DM them, they don't mind you anymore. I try not to be that person. So I don't ask questions. But when I get my money, from the 60% that I have, I'm going to spend, I buy my fuel, and so I do another thing with my 60%. I have things that I need. You know, there are things that you need, you absolutely need, and there are things that you can do without. So for me, in my life right now, I need fuel, I need data, I need to pay for some self-care things that I do, okay? When I was in school, the things I needed at the time, ridiculous as they might sound, I still needed internet. I used to buy African prints a lot. I still like African prints. I always have a bit of African prints in my outfit. So I used to buy GTP. And I love to read. So I would always go to EPP Books and buy some books. And the rest of it, we used the money for Chichinga and Coca-Cola and, you know, things on campus. Frankie's had just opened and we were always there, my friends and I, because it wasn't too far from GIJ. But now I need fuel, I need data, I need to buy a piece of clothing, like something to look good. So if it's not a dress, it could be a shoe, or it could be hair, or an accessory, or makeup, or one thing every month. I always buy something seemingly frivolous every month because I need that to be okay also. Not everything has to be so serious all the time. Sometimes you need to buy a nice shoe just because you work so hard, or because you've just done something great. I like to celebrate little victories. So if I scored 90% on an assignment, I will buy myself something nice. Yeah. And when I was in school, I did that, and I never did anything nice for myself until I earned it. So I looked forward to earning something. So I would study hard, or I will ace a recording at TV Africa, or I'll do something nice, you know, something good, so that I could reward myself with something nice. So I'll buy a nice shoe, or I'll buy a new phone case for my phone, or, you know, something nice for myself. So I do that. So all of that comes from my 60%. One thing which I find very important about saving and earning money in your 20s is do not save after you bought the things you like. Always save before. Always save before, not after. Don't say, okay, now I have 1,000 Ghana cedis. I need to go and do my cornrow, and I need to buy the shoe, and then after that, I'll go to the bank and save. No. The first thing you must do is save. You saw the chart on the board earlier. Oh, okay, he's gone. There are so many things you need. If you don't save first, you will never save. Because no matter how much you have, it's not enough. I read a post on Instagram about a guy who says he was in a wache queue, waiting to buy wache with no meat. And then suddenly he got an alert on his phone. 2,000 Ghana cedis. He had been paid early because it was December, and our bosses pay us early in December. So he had been paid early. And the moment he saw the 2,000 Ghana cedis alert on his phone, he started noticing the egg, the fish, the meat, the plantain, the salad, and all the other things that he had no intention buying when he joined the queue the first time. No matter how much you earn, you will find something to do with the money, and it will seem important to you at the time you are doing it. If you don't have that money, those things would not seem so important. But the moment that money hits your account, you suddenly remember you have to buy your girlfriend a gift. You suddenly remember that, oh, I was buying her just cake, let me add ice cream. Things will start occurring to you as so important that prior to the money coming in, you did not think about. So, because those things can happen, please, save first. And the money you save, you're not supposed to touch. At all. No matter what. It's good to have an emergency fund, which is like 10% which you save. That one, if something happens, suddenly you can go for it. But as for your 20% or 10% which you decide to save, you cannot touch it, no matter what. You cannot touch it what? No matter what. 35 might seem like a very far away age. It's not happening soon. Or 40 DAWA. But it will come. It will come like Kakai. Before you know it, it's here. And the last thing you want is to be 35 and borrowing money or relying on your parents for things. To be 40, at a certain age, right now, people will give you money. Your friends will give you money, uncles, aunties, mommy, daddy. You'll get to a point in your life when nobody will give you anything. Not just money, no help, no advice, no suggestion. You are expected to be a full-blown adult who knows everything. So this is the time to gather everything, all the resources you can get. Money, advice, friendship, contacts, mentorship, everything. Get it now. I wish someone had told me to get a mentor at some point in my life. I think I would have been at a much better place than I am now, because I never had a mentoring. I was just finding my path by myself. So I advise you, get a mentor. Get someone to talk to you about money. Come to summits like this and learn. Before I sit down, this is something that's available to all of you now, which was not available to me and most of your speakers when we were in our 20s. The internet now presents a great opportunity for all of us to earn money just by being on the fancy smartphones that we have. Please use your smartphones to earn money. Not all of us know how to do business or sell, because a lot of people who are selling on Instagram are doing so well. And I wish I could sell too, so I could do so well. But I don't know how to sell, so I don't try it. But if you know how to sell on Instagram, please use your Instagram to start a small business that can earn you money that you can keep or spend. You can choose to either spend the money that mommy and daddy give you, or save that and spend the money that you earn by yourself. Use your Instagram to start a business. Do it. If you can't start a business, hallelujah, you can be an influencer. After COVID hit, so many influencers sprang up and so many people are earning money online as influencers. Ever since I started being an influencer, I am so, like, I can't believe it that, you know, you can make money like this by literally doing almost nothing. It's amazing. How do you become an influencer? It's very simple. We all have things that we like. All of us have things that we like. It can be water. It can be foods. It can be makeup. It can be skincare. It can be whatever. And I'm not saying be a makeup artist. No. You can't be a makeup artist, but you're able to tell when someone wears good makeup. I'm just giving you an example, okay? So you start a page called Makeup Critics GH. Example. You see your classmates come to school. Great makeup. You take a good picture of her with your iPhone 13 Pro Max. You download Lightroom, buy some presets for $2. Preset the picture, make the picture look good, put it up. Day look for class, Academic City, day 1, rate from 1 to 10. And you tell all your friends that you posted this. And all your friends come and comment, and you have like 20 comments. Do this consistently for 3 months. You see a celebrity's picture. Oh, today Jackie Appiah is out and her makeup is great. This look is perfect for this, this, this. She used this product, MAC NW25. Eyelashes 3W55. Lipstick Ruby Woo. And thankfully, celebrities always write what they have used. So you can just go and, you know, get that. You know, credits your source. Credits, source, Jackie Appiah. Source, this. Put it there. Okay. Tell all your friends about it. That, oh, go and like my page. Or go and see what I'm doing. Go and see what I'm doing. Manage to get 1,000, 2,000 followers. That's the beginning of the life of an influencer. Great. With your 2,000 followers, there are some cool makeup brands in Ghana. So Aesthetic. So Aesthetic is a makeup brand in Ghana. Approach So Aesthetic. I am a makeup influencer. Can I influence for your brand? Okay. So Aesthetic says, I'll give you 2 powders, 5 lipsticks, and 3 mascaras. You come and do a review on it for So Aesthetic. You don't take money, but you've taken the products, which is good for you because now you don't have to buy your powder and buy your mascara, etc. You haven't earned money, but you've gotten something that will save you money. Great. The reviews are great. You get your friends to see it. Next time you go to So Aesthetic, guess what? You're not just going to take products. You're going to ask them to pay you 300 cedis per post. And that's really cheap as an influencer, by the way. For an influencer with 5,000 followers, 300 cedis per post for a review is cheap. Then you go to Colorbox, also a local, what do you call it, makeup company. Get them to do a review. That's how you become an influencer. Create content, find something you like. We all have something we like. And I'm not saying stop doing your Instagram. Keep your Instagram going. But thankfully, we can create like 7 pages on Instagram and manage all the 7 now. That's how Instagram allows you to create so many pages. Go online and just Google it. How can I be a successful influencer? Even if you sell T-shirts, or you know people who wear T-shirts with funny inscriptions, and you take the funny inscriptions and say, Life in Accra. I've seen some cool Twitter thing going on now. The Twitter copying cool tweets and posting. That's a cool idea for an influencer. Funny tweets online. Go on Twitter and find all the cool tweets and put them on your Instagram. That's how you start influencing for Twitter, because Twitter is looking for influencers, I hear. I don't know. But I see them doing some cool stuff with iSocial. It's possible for all of us to earn money online. And you won't earn 5,000, 10,000. No. You probably earn 200, 100, 300, 400. But that's how you start making good money online now. The world is your marketplace. So take advantage of it. Earn money now. It's not okay if you are not earning any money as you are sitting here now. It's not okay. Give me a wave if you're an influencer here. Any influencers? Anybody doing some influencing for any brand? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Give me a wave if you are earning money. Maybe you have a job, a small business, you are doing something. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're doing something. If you have a job, you're doing something, but you are not online actively with your job, talk to your friends who have high followings and collaborate. Hire influencers amongst you. Collaborate. Get them to post for you. Pay them, even if it's 5 cedis per post. Use their platform to grow yours. You can even influence for a human being. There are some of you who are already celebrities as, you know, on Academic City University campus. You dress well, you shudder, you take selfies, 200 selfies, and then you choose one which you will post, and the rest are just there, all similar selfies. You don't use it for anything. You can use that to earn some money. So use your online presence, use your friends, try to be an influencer somehow, because it's possible for all of us to be influencers, because we all have things that we like. And most importantly, when you earn your money, don't spend it all in one place. First, invest. Save. It's great to have an emergency fund. And then you can spend the rest of it. If you don't want to physically go to the bank to say, I want to save this, I want to do this, take one trip to the bank and tell them, please put a standing order on my account. Every time my money hits the account, please pay 10% of this money into a savings account for me. And then pay the other 10% into my other account. And then leave the rest there for me. Or you can have a special bank account that you don't have an ATM on, you don't have internet banking on, you don't have a checkbook for, you cannot access that bank account. That's a good account to save in. So just create one account like that and just keep your money there. The 10%, let it go there. Don't take an ATM for it. Don't sign up for internet banking. Don't sign up for SMS bank. Don't sign up for anything. Don't remember it. Just let it be there. And have a standing order on your regular account that sends 10% of your money. Maybe your parents pay you to a bank account or a Momo account. When your Momo comes in, go to financial institutions, click, transfer to bank, click. It's on your Momo, MTN Momo. Number 5 is financial transactions, click on it. Then go to number 2, which is transfer to bank, click on it. Transfer money to that account and save it. And I'm not saying save it to the end of the year and go and spend it at Christmas or in January when you are broke. Never touch that money. This has worked for me, and I hope it works for you too. Thank you all so much.
That was lovely. Thank you. Please do a better round of applause for Nash Shoko. Wow. I loved it. Nash Shoko, you see why we love you? You see why it's hard not to love you? That was very lovely, man. Please put your hands together for Nash Shoko one more time. Very insightful, very practical, and very easy to hear. I hope it will be easy to do. Definitely. It will be tough, but we definitely have to make money. So we'll put in the commitment to get that done. Very soon, I know some of you have questions on your minds you want to ask, correct? Somebody questions? A whole lot of questions, right? Very soon we'll have a panel discussion where we can get to trade ideas and ask questions and probe some points that have been made and get more details. But, and there'll be someone fantastic to moderate that panel discussion. It won't be me. I'll tell you about that person very shortly. But before we get to the panel discussion, I've spent roughly 30 minutes of my life to learn how to pronounce this name, so I get it very, very well. Charmaine. Please, did I get it correct? Charmaine. Oh, guys, put your hands together for me. I've tried. Charmaine is recognized by Forbes as one of the 25 black business people to watch. Oh, no, I will finish everything. Okay, so stand by me. You are making me look good. Oh, my God. Me too, I'm nice, baby. Yeah. Please give me first, now, my bro. Yeah. So, but listen, it's very important. She's been recognized by Forbes as one of the 25 black business people to watch, and Financial Times as one of the 100, this one, is it BAM or BIM? BAM. I knew there would be a problem there. 100 BAM leaders in tech, okay? Now, Charmaine is certainly a force to be reckoned with. Before entering the world of venture capital, this is where the issue is. Venture, no, America, when they say capital. Yes. Yeah, venture capital. as one of the only women of color in VC in the UK to be a managing partner. She was no stranger to kicking down diversity doors. So now I want you to sit down and relax, take your notes, put your hands together. Let's welcome Charmaine. As we listen to her story, she'll inspire us to get wealthier. Charmaine, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was adamant that I needed a little clicky thing to make me feel really like I'm doing a good keynote speech, you know. Without the clicker, are you really doing a speech? So, welcome. I want you first all to stand up really quickly. Just because you've been sitting for so long, just do a stretch. I don't like to speak to a dead crowd, so I need you alive, yeah? Amen. Amen. There you go, a little rock side to side. You're welcome, you may sit. Oh, you lot boxing. I see you. Please, I am from the UK, so sometimes I do speak a little fast. Okay, if I start to speed up my speaking, please just raise your hand and I will reverse the car, okay? And I will slow down. So as I was rightly introduced, it's Charmaine Hayden. I'm quite glad because most people in Ghana here, they'll read my name and they'll say chairman first. I will be approaching Uber car and they will be looking for a guy and looking past me. I'm like, hey, it's me. They're like, ah, you, dear. And I'm like, yes, it's Charmaine. So I've come here today because I'm really, really excited to always talk about wealth creation, about wealth preservation, and about breaking generational curses, building wealth for generations to come, making sure that your children's children and children's children are able to generate wealth and are able to live comfortably. So many of us didn't come from backgrounds that were affluent and maybe weren't as comfortable as some of the people that we see on our TV screens or at the top of the totem pole. I first want to congratulate you guys for turning up for yourselves. So if you give yourself a round of applause. How many of you came because of Bezo money? I hope so. I hope you came for Bezo money because they put together this amazing event. How many of you came because Stonebwoy will be here this evening? Tell the truth. Yeah? Okay, okay. But I'm sure that you'll notice that when Stonebwoy has a concert, the room is packed beyond measure, right? But now we're here to talk about wealth and about building and about being more comfortable. Doesn't seem as many people filling the seats, right? It's not quite a stadium, is it? So that is exactly why I told you to congratulate yourself, because you came out in the heat and the you know, against all the other things you could be doing to make sure that you learn a little bit about how to make more money. And I say more money, but as the people who preceded me rightly said, wealth comes in many formats, which is why it's really important to focus on what we digest. Because when we eat bad food, when we hang around with poor characters, when we don't read the right material, if we sit reading magazines and fashion stuff, maybe we're not filling ourselves with ways and means to build and preserve wealth in the way that we're discussing today. Because today is Bezos Smart's Money Summit, yeah? So we're talking about money. I like money. How many of you like money? How many of you love money? I love to see that. So Nara rightly said just now that sometimes when we get money, it's like how long's a piece of string? If you get 50 cedis, you spend 50 cedis. If you get 50 million cedis, you spend 50 million cedis. And it never seems to be quite enough. And that's usually the case if we are not thinking about the future and we are just spending in the now. I'm not saying don't want nice things. I like nice things. I like nice watches. I like nice clothes. I like expensive weave, yeah? But it's also important to preserve yourself and your finances for the future, because as you get older and your bones are a little bit more rickety, it's harder to be in 20 million places at once, trying to make money, trying to be busy. So the reason that I'm here is because I'm one of the investors in Bezo Money. I invested in this amazing piece of technology because I feel like they are bringing the future to Ghana, to Africa, and to the world. I really like to invest in world-changing companies. I'm not rich, despite the fact you can see me with a helicopter there. It's not mine. Yeah? Just want to set the record straight. Don't chase me down. I'm not rich yet, okay? Not that rich, okay? That is not my house. That is a castle in Scotland that does not belong to me. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through a few things here today. I'm one of the founding partners of Good Soil Venture Capital. Who knows what venture capital is? Raise your hand. Okay? Want to share? You might have to shout. I don't know if we're going to pass the mic every time I ask a question. Okay, so I'll repeat that for you. So, as the gentleman rightly said, what we do is we invest in startups, in new startups being businesses that can scale, with the intention of them growing to be really amazing companies and for us to get our money back plus some, yeah, in a really short form. When I talk to you guys, because I like to have interactive conversations rather than just me here speaking, when you stand in any forum that you ever attend, yeah, stand and introduce yourself. Hi, I am, this is what I do, or this is what I'm studying, this is what my interests are, and then speak. You never know who is in the room with you. Okay, there are some particularly amazing characters in this room today, and we never know who each other are until we have the conversation. Okay, so we invest in businesses here in Ghana, also in the UK. A lot of the people that do venture capital have steered away from Africa as a whole. They look at the West as being really fruitful. But with my venture capital fund, I decided to set it up because there are a lot of people who are like me here on the continent and in the UK who don't have very affluent parents, who don't come from backgrounds where you can ask your family for lots of money and just get it and just say, okay, thanks guys, we're off and we're going to try something. But what I love about people who come from backgrounds who don't really have much is the hustle. How many of you hustled? Hands up, hands up. So the rest of you lot have never hustled for nothing. Hey, you guys are comfortable. Okay, I see you. Do what you like, do what you like. But most of us have had a moment where we've needed money and we found a way to make it. Whether or not be selling a product, whether or not it be introducing someone to something or someone, whether it be helping out in work in a number of different jobs. Okay, when you have a great business idea, how do you think that you raise investment or raise money? Does anyone have any ideas? Oh, you lot are scared. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to tell you anyway. Who wants to know how to make money or how to get an investment? That's better. Okay, so there's a number of different ways. Friends and family is the top way for you to seek investment. If you were like me when I started my first business, asking my mum for 20 cedis would have been a hard challenge, yeah? She would have looked at me and said, but Charmaine, what for? I would have told her my idea. She would have said, please go back to school, and this is probably, you know, not going to work. And also, she didn't have spare money to just give me. So I had to go and do it myself. I'll talk more about that afterwards. But for those who are trusted within your communities and have a great idea, if you can convince a few of your friends or your family members to give you money, when you come to ask for $250,000 from me, I'm going to look at you more favorably because I'm going to say the people in that person's community believe in them for a reason. Because maybe from school or from university or from work, they have been reliable. They have always been someone to pay their dues or who cares about their name, their personal brand. Because your personal brand follows you in every situation. Friends and family may not be your immediate mum and dad, brothers and sisters, but it may be your colleagues at work, it may be an extended family, it may be that you are a social media influencer or you are a person who is the person in your school who helps everybody, but people trust you. Trust is really important, okay? But failing that, not everyone can do that. There are small business loans. Small business loans are sometimes a bit tricky because you have to tick off criteria. You do have to pay this money back. But sometimes that pressure is good because you don't feel like you can just chill. You also actually have to deliver. Yeah? The downside of that is some alternative lending companies who, if you can't apply for credit, are a bit predatory. So they may ask for a lot of interest to receive your money back, to pay the money back. Bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is what I did. I just hustled. I started my business with £0, 0 cities, 0 pesos. I just started. I built something and I started telling people, this is what I want to do. This is what I need you to do in order to help me to get to from A to B to Z. Yeah? And I was able to manage that without any money. I was working at a chestnut stall in the market when I was in school. I think I was 14. And I'd gone there and we were selling chestnuts. My friends were laughing at me. They said, you're the chestnut girl now. Yeah? So I felt shame. I did feel shame. But I thought, I'm here, I want to earn money. But by the end of the day, the laughter was too much. I said, I won't come back here again. So before the day was out, the owner of the store had sent me numerous occasions to go and buy new supply of chestnuts every time they ran out. So because I'm really nosy, I asked the seller, hey, how much are these chestnuts selling for? The guy told me the price. I said, is that a good price? Is that a fair price? He said it's fair because the buyer is buying in small quantities. So I said, how many sellers in this market are there? He said 10. I said, how many market stalls are there that you sell to? He said 40. So I said, so if they all came and bought together, it would be cheaper, right? He said, yes. So before the day was out, I had maneuvered around that market and spoke to all of the sellers there and said to them, if I get your chestnuts for a cheaper price for you, will you pay me a commission? They said yes. It was just a small commission. But it meant that I no longer needed to feel shame in the market stall because I didn't have to work there anymore. Because I had agreed that for 2 years they would pay me the commission. So I went back to school. And now I was laughing at my friends because now I have new shoes. I have new clothes. I was smiling. I don't have to work. And I don't need to worry my mum and listen to her telling me, maybe if you wait, you have to wash dishes for 7 days, then she still changed her mind, all of these different things. So I bootstrapped. And I took those skills into all of my future businesses. And there were many failures also. How many of you are deciding that you want to start a business because you just want to chill small? Put your hand up. Yeah, you're thinking of doing the wrong thing. If you want to chill, you do not start a business. Starting a business is very stressful. I don't want to glamorize it at all. There will be hard work to be done. But if you master your craft, eventually you will have less hard work to do because you will find other people to do those roles for you. And when we're looking at companies to invest in, we're looking at people who do not have to be in their business every day. If you are the person who has to be in your shop in order to sell products, then you are not investable because you are not scalable. Crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is where everybody comes together and they buy small pieces of your business. They can be very small. They can be as little as 20 cities or as much as 100 cities or 100,000 cities. I don't feel like you guys have any major platforms here in Ghana that you can invest through. However, you can use Bezo Money they do a susu, a digital susu. And you can get your friends and family to sign up, start to save, and a percentage of that money you can then invest into other people's small businesses. Some people don't need $500,000. Some people just need 500 cities to get started. So have a think about that and see, how could I get money back? Because you may spend 500 cities by accident. I say by accident, but by buying shoes that you didn't really want, or by paying a bill that you didn't expect. So maybe think about how you can invest more. And also, if you're looking to start up your own business, try to get people to gather around and crowdfund. An interesting fact, one of our portfolio companies that we've invested in, actually, Vitae London, actually raised £100,000 via crowdfunding. The downside of crowdfunding is that you need to generate a lot of buzz, you need people to really believe in your product, and you need to understand how you will sell the shares. So you'll need to get a financial expert to assist you in breaking that down, because you can't say you're going to give someone 100 shares if you only own 100 shares. Okay, just so that you understand. Keep your day job. No one ever likes this one. But some people aren't cut out to be entrepreneurs. And even then still, some people who are cut out to be entrepreneurs still need to maintain your job roles in order to make sure that you can continue to make money comfortably. So if you have bills to pay and you quit your job and now you are suffering more, you can't focus. Your head is pounding. The landlord will come for me tomorrow. How will I pay my bills? How will I eat? And now I'm trying to think about how to run a business at the same time. It's not ethical. Business accelerators and incubators are places where you can go and they will help you to hone your craft, to become great at being a startup. When you start, you don't have to know everything. You just need to start. And you need to know where to look for the right information. But everybody says Google is there. But if you don't know what questions to ask Google, how will you find the answers? Places like business accelerators and incubators can help you to ask the right questions, to know what you're supposed to be looking for when building a scalable business. There are a few here in Ghana, to name a few: MEST, Africa AI, and Ghana Innovation Hub. I know that Bezo had attended MEST prior to coming to us for investment, and when we met Mubarak, he was very well versed in what he needed to say, how he needed to ask for money, and what he wanted to sell as part of his business in order to get that exchange. I'm sure that Mubarak is just an amazing founder all round, but that was very helpful in helping him to hone his craft. VC investors, it's me. It's me, innit? Innit gang here. And these are my business partners. So VC funding can be an incredible way to jumpstart your startup or business. But as the gentleman here rightly said, a lot of people think that when we give you money, we are giving you money. And that's not the exchange. You are selling us a part of your business, which means that you no longer have 100% control any longer. We also want to make sure that you're giving us high growth returns. So if you just want to operate very slow and small, you're probably not someone who wants venture capital funding. You also need to consider, when applying for venture capital funding, the type of investors you want to invest in your company, because it's like a marriage. How many of you are married? Okay, and it's not easy, right? Being married, you have to really work on things. You can't just get in bed with any investor. But you want to meet their parents at least, huh? Uh-huh. Make sure that people are willing to pay your bride price. And it's a long-standing relationship. You need to understand each other's ideas, your morale, the reasons that you are building, what your end goal is, so that you don't have too much conflict towards the end when your investor is saying, but I thought that you were going to sell in 2 years. You're saying, but this is my baby. We've just reached 1 million cities and I want to keep going. You have to compromise in the beginning. You tell people, I want to sell, I don't want to sell. This is how I want to grow. These are the ways that I want to exit. Look up exiting companies also, mergers and acquisitions, ways that selling, going public. These are ways that companies exit. Most people, when you first start a business, you're thinking, I'm just going to give someone this percentage and that's it. No, we want our money back. I want my money. I like money, I told you guys, yeah? So we invest at pre-seed and seed stage. How many people know what that means? It's okay not to know what it means. I never knew what it meant when I started venture capital. I started because I had built a business and scaled a business. And then I wanted to invest in other people that look like me. Maybe you guys probably don't think that you look like me because you think I'm a brony, but it's okay. I won't break it down for you. You're looking at me now saying, but you are, it's fine. I didn't understand that until my house manager explained to me, but you are white. I said, but I'm not. She said, you are. I said, okay, fine. But in the UK, they don't see me as white. They see me as black because my father is black. Okay, but that's a whole nother story. But pre-seed and seed stage are the early stages of your business. So when you are making possibly around 100K, which for some of you will still look like a lot, for us is very small. You will then go on, most startups go on to raise further funding, maybe 100 million, 500 million, a billion. There's a lot of phases of investment from Series A, from pre-seed, Series A to Series Z. You will continue raising, but at each stage of you are looking for investment, they will ask you to sell more of your company, yeah? And then they will also ask you to be ready, a bit more ready. So for me, it's just 100K and to have the basic components of a good business. When you go to Series C, they are going to be expecting you to already have a large pot of capital, a large consumer base or a large standing of customers. They're expecting you to have done a lot more in your business, so the demands are a lot higher. You can't just start your business and then go to Series Z, okay? One step at a time, one foot in front of the other. We at Good Soul typically invest between 200,000 and 1.2 million. How many of you want 1.2 million from me? Raise your hand. Yeah, I want 1.2 million from me too. So, can anyone in the audience tell me what you think that we would look for in a founder before investing in them? Yeah, to put your hand up. Yes, please. I love that. Someone who listens with their ears. I love that. Well done. And your name was? Selma. Okay, Selma. And what do you do, Selma? You're a student here? And what are you studying? Computer engineering. Okay, so if anyone is looking for a future bright computer engineer that listens and also is able to speak her truth and in the moment, then please look at Selma. Speak to her afterwards. That's the end of my slides. We're going to do a question and answer session afterwards. You can also contact us on our Instagram. Please give us a follow. It's Good Soil VC. If you are informal, or you can email us. It's just info@goodsoilventurecapital.com. Have a look at the companies we've invested in. There's some of the most amazing tech in Ghana. Bezo Money, Obsidian, who you would have heard from or you'll hear from today, ZPay, Bet Power, just to name a few. But have a look and see what we invest in. And if you are interested in building a startup that is scalable and you want to make loads of money, please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, I've been Charmaine Hayden. Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking I'm going to hand the mic. You don't want me to sing. It's not going to sound sweet.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause for Charmaine. Good. So at this point, we are going to do the panel discussion, but I want to set the stage for that shortly. So LMGH is here. LMGH, are you here? Please put your hands together and welcome LMGH. They will serenade us a bit with some good music, and then we'll settle in for the panel discussion. Please welcome them once again with a round of applause.
3, let's go. How is your mood? Let's go now. Hey. Everybody, hey, let's go, Ron. Say what? Let's go, hey, hey, hey. Let's go, hey, VCA. Okay, how do you know about this song? One, two. Sound. Okay. How many know this song too? Alcohol by J. That's why I sip my alcohol. One, two. One, two. Say what? Who's there? One, two. Let's do this one. Achari. Hey, Achari. One, two.
for the microphone, the moderation, the platform, and everything else, in fact, the entire auditorium, over to my colleague, Zoe Abubeidu-Ado, who is here. Zoe Abubeidu-Ado is here. Please put your hands together and do it better. For those of you here, why are you not clapping? What is your problem right now? Thank you. So we're going to delve into the conversation. Zoe will introduce to us who the discussants are, and we'll take over from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my partner in crime. Thank you very much, partner in crime. I believe that we've all picked one or two from what has been discussed so far. Usually when we talk about money, a lot of people get uncomfortable because they may not be hitting the right target, and they may not setting about how to do it as others are doing. I'll indulge, or I'll ask that you please stay with us, because you do not know at what point your life is going to change by what our panelists are going to say. So without wasting much time, you've already heard them speak, but I will invite them here so we can have few minutes to brush up what they've already said, and then we'll pick your questions. So I'll call, I understand Nashoko has already left, so she will not be part of this panel discussion, but I would invite Jennifer Ajiman Harrison Ahogba and Charmaine Hayden to join me as we have our discussion. Please, a round of applause. Has Jennifer left? Has Jennifer left? She has. Okay. All right. So they have been speaking to us already. I joined in quite late, but the little that I got has been very instrumental, and I believe that if everyone here sets up, we are going to all make a change that is required. So I'll begin with Charmaine. You were our last speaker, and you were speaking about investments and how you began and all. I want to find out from you, are there investment opportunities here in Ghana for young people to actually, take up the mantle if they really want to do big business and turn their lives around, turn their fortunes around?
Yes, of course. I mean, everywhere you look, you see abronis, or you see foreign people coming from abroad, as you guys would say, abroad people coming and looking at Ghana. And you're thinking, why do all these people come in here? Because we want to go to England or Europe, etc. Because the opportunity is here on your doorstep. And it seems like everything looks really attractive abroad, but everything's very expensive. You have the opportunity here in the frontier market, that what they're calling the final frontier, the final place where you can invest small and get big returns, is here on your doorstep. So stop looking outside, start looking internally. Like I said, look at your friends. Is someone, it may be that you are not an entrepreneur, but someone that you know has a great idea. You may be the person that finances them that first 100 cedis to get started, or is able to take them past their goal by changing their mindset. For example, my house manager has started a clothing line. She started selling by selling other people's products and just making small commission, and from that small commission, saving that, and then being able to buy her own stock is a way of being able to build your own retail business. You can start very small and bootstrap, yeah, so that was the word I used earlier. But also there are other small things you can invest in. You can invest, I don't know about here in Ghana what cryptocurrency is like. I don't know what stocks and shares are like investing as a Ghanaian, but there are things that you can invest a lot smaller amounts of capital in, as well as investing in yourself. Investing in the books that you read, in the food that you eat, and the people that you surround yourself. Take a sport up, play golf, save up to go skiing. You'll meet people, sorry, mosquitoes, they really like me. There are ways that you can invest in yourself and in your talents. Go to study something that is really amazing to you. Learn how to code. Learn how to support one of your friends that can code if that's not your forte. Or look at what your internal skills are and invest in those. Some people are the person in their family who leads everybody and saves the day every time. You have great management skills. Find a team that you can join and you can manage that team. So there are always startups, people with great ideas. Investing doesn't have to be money. Investing can be human capital. It can be 4 hours of your day a week. It can be every day of the week if you have time. But it is also about making the investment in some capacity. I hope that answers your question.
All right. So, Harrison, you've spoken a lot about money, but what did you wish you knew about money saved before the age of 25?
That's a big one. Like I said earlier, before 25, we didn't have this platform. Knowledge is a very important thing. So there are 3 things I'm going to talk about that if I had known by now, I'm sure I would have been better. The first one, like I said, is knowledge acquisition. You need to learn. You need to invest that energy in what you want to become. Whatever field of study, whatever thing you want to do, you need to acquire the necessary expertise, right? So you need to put enough in it. If you're going to do an online business, the question is which one and why? And which market are you targeting? Has somebody done it before? What did the person do that I think I can add on? You understand? So you benchmark and you want to be better. The next thing is about networking. I've appreciated the aspect of growing up in the midst of communities like this. Like she rightly said, once you mention your name, somebody gets to know what you're doing. And when you want to network, you don't go in expecting from the person that is going to be your network guide. You go in with a mindset to learn and a mindset to serve. So if you want to be a friend to Charmaine, you don't go and say, how much can you give me? You get it? So you go in a mindset to know that how did you get to where you got to? What mistakes did you make? How can I also leverage on that to be a better person? And the third one is never to give up and to be sure that, listen, whether you like it or not, there will be distractions. And these distractions, some are internal, some are external. Your ability to overcome all these distractions would put you at a level field. So, for instance, I read a story about Cristiano Ronaldo that after every training session with the team, he stays a little bit later to exercise more. Why does he do that? And that is why you know his name. The rest is not like they are not good. You get it? So whatever you're going to do, just acquire the knowledge, leverage on the network, believe in yourself. Don't feed your distractions. They would come whether you like it or not. They might come different levels, but anytime you overcome that distraction or the challenge, you learn a lesson, you learn an experience, you build on it, and then you're getting better.
You speak about networking, but there are people who are really reserved and shy. This is the best they can do to sit amongst people. They cannot really come up to people because they fear to be pushed aside, or they fear people will, not give them the listening ear that they want. If I come to a setting like this, is it good enough for networking?
Yeah, so it starts by getting to know yourself. If I dare say, you might not know the name of the next person sitting to you. Do you know the next person by name? Do you know their phone number? Do you know what they do? Chances are that you are sitting by somebody you already know. And that doesn't help for networking. There are new people you are seeing for the first time. You just ask Kojo, what do you do? Can I please have your number? And not the kind of number that you are going to call at night and say, I want money. You get me? So if you say you are shy, if you say you are afraid, if you say you are intrusive and you wouldn't talk, there are ways you can go about it. You can collaborate. Nashoko spoke about you leveraging on somebody's ability to do. Assuming you are dumb and you can't speak, but you have a product, what would you do? So let me share this with you. When I started my banking career, I was a salesperson. We had a sales target to sell a Bible, like a Christian literature. And there was this guy that every time we go for the meeting, he's the best. They will give him an award every time, every Friday. And nobody knows how he was able to sell a Bible. We go with 10 Bibles. Some of us even come back with 11. The one we sold the last week, The people call us and they come for it. So guess what? So we asked this guy, what was the trick? And no disrespect to anybody. Then he said that when he comes to you, he picks the Bible and he asks you whether he should read it for you or you read it yourself. So when you say he should read it for you, then he will start to stammer. And before you finish mentioning Genesis, you decide whether you buy it or he should read the Bible for you. So before he starts the J and he stammer, you just pay him and he goes. Guess what? The next day, all of us went to stammer. And we came back with our Bible sold. So we are not in a position to say that I am incapable of doing this. Your incapability is rather a strength. You can't say now that you can't collaborate because you don't talk, because you cannot share contacts, because you can't come to this event. Your talent and ideas that you have are buried inside you. Please shake it off. Some of us could not have been sitting here if we didn't build that capacity. Start small. Shemen said, talk to 2 people in your room. Talk to 3 people on the phone. Build that confidence. Call 4 people. Demonstrate how your water works. Demonstrate how this thing does. You pick the feedback, you build the confidence. So unfortunately, I will not advise anybody to be in that comfort zone and say that I am not confident, I'm afraid I'll be disgraced. In fact, every big person you are saying, every big person like yourself, you started small. You were afraid of your BEC, but you passed. You were afraid of your SSC, but you passed. You are afraid of your first university admission when you didn't have a room, but you are now in a room. So what can't you do? Are you with me?
I think you make a really valid point there. But I think a lot of people who come to networking events, especially your first maybe 10, you also sometimes don't know what you bring to the table exactly. Maybe your business idea is not yet strong enough. Maybe you haven't quite figured it all out in your brain. Maybe you are good at maths but like business but don't have a good idea. Maybe you are good at communicating or selling, but you're thinking, I don't have a product to sell. Understand what you're good at, what your strong points are, and then talk to people and say, hey, I'm really good at selling. What are you doing? And it may be that person has the next Bezos money and decides, actually, we need a great salesperson on our team. How do you feel about that? You then have a business partnership that's taken place. You are now part of a team. You are now part of something that you can go to places like this and sell. Because if you were the creative director or the financier for Uber, would you talk to people in this room? How many people would talk to someone? How many people would say stuff with their chest in the room? Put your hands up. You lot would all still be quiet. You lot do not deserve a job. But most people will feel a little more confident to have a conversation if you are the big man in a scenario, right? Or big woman. So understanding your true genius is not about knowing all the big words. It's not about having the great idea. It's not about being a great mathematician. It's about being great at whatever you can deliver. And sometimes we don't even know what that is until we sit down with time with ourselves and figure that out. And look at the people around you. Ask people what they're doing first if you're not sure. And then see how you can fit in. Maybe you can't fit into anything right now. But just have a conversation. Keep in contact. Touch base with them and say, hey, how are you? Remember we met at that summit. Have you thought about what you want to do yet or where you want to go? Or are you still thinking like me? Just call and say, hey.
All right. I'll throw this question. I don't know who will answer. In Ghana, we do not pay on an hourly basis. It's either you're doing a 9-to-5 job or you're doing something on your own. Now, for someone who works between 9 to 5, if that person is earning so much, can the person be comfortable in that area? If that is my strength, say I have the technical know-how about something, I'm an engineer or I'm able to put things to work. 9 to 5, I make so much money. Can I be comfortable where I am?
You can be comfortable where you are. There's no reason that you need to come out of that bracket. If that's something you're great at and you're happy in that role, stay there. find ways to grow within that. Make sure that where you are working, you're understanding what your targets are and what makes you keep going back to that workplace. And the moment, if there is a moment that you feel uncomfortable, discuss it with your line manager or discuss it with yourself and figure out, what do I want so that I can gain more out of this opportunity. And if you're great at that and you also want to do something else, there are many hours. How many of you spend time on your phone for hours, or chilling, or going out with your friends? Take 1 or 2 hours of that a week and build on something else. It doesn't have to be every day. I'm not saying don't chill. I chill. I enjoy chilling, I promise. But one or 2 hours a week is like saving 10%. It's the same notion. You're saving a percentage of your time and dedicating it to something else. It doesn't have to be invested into something specific, but it's into something you're interested in. A lot of people who develop technology, for instance, specifically if you know about the new 3.0 internet, etc., they don't really know what they're doing, but they are just paying an interest. And as time goes on, they will become experts in that field.
Yeah, so to add to that, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever, it has changed. So, like she rightly mentioned, and I said in my presentation.
How has it changed?
No, so this is what's happening. Because of COVID and other stuff, the definition of 8 to 5 has changed. Now, you're working on hourly basis, you're working based on the project or the opportunity that you have. Your workload has reduced, people are home now, things are very tough. So, like, the first thing is, if you think you are comfortable where you are, praise the Lord, but it's not going to be sustainable. With time, you're going to grow. With age, with time, you're going to be obsolete if you don't invest in yourself by going back to school. With time, your income might not be sufficient for you. With time, your family will be increasing. So there are things that put pressure on your current state. So there is the need for you to maximize the next available time. So like she said, if you think you close at 5 p.m., you stay at, say, Adenta. Do you know Adenta? She knows Adenta.
I've been here for 2 years.
Oh, that's great. So you stay at Adenta, your office is at the Central Business District, and you know that when you close from work at 5, it takes you a minimum of 2.5 hours to get to Adenta. Why would you want to be in that car and waste that time? Do you understand? Why wouldn't you want to use your car as Uber in the evening to get some income? Why won't you learn a language using your office's internet freely? There are things you can think about to add on, but the truth is that whatever state you are in 8 to 5, it's not going to be sustainable. Some of you are good at singing, some of you are good at dancing. There are a lot of things that you do spontaneously out of fun will end up being a certain line of business for you. So I wouldn't advise us to be comfortable. Nothing beautiful grows in the comfort zone. It's just a matter of time. So you need to stretch. You are young now, you are very smart, you have ideas, collaborate with people, use the extra hours and get something. Some of us sleep too much and wake up very late. Do you understand? You sleep too much.
Me, I sleep too much and I do wake up late. I confess, guys. I'm part of that crowd.
So that's what I mean by the changes has happened. You can wake up around 3:34, do 1 or 2 things. Some of you have large frames. You can even bake some biscuits, you can bake some cakes. There are a lot of things you can do, and you'll be surprised what will come out of it.
All right. Do I save before, or from what I make or what I earn? Do I save after I get my salary or after expenditure? Which will you advise?
After your salary.
After my salary.
Depending on your circumstances, but yes, I would in advance calculate how much you can afford to save and save that automatically. Otherwise, you would never find the time or the room to save. It will be 2042 and you will not have saved 10 cities.
All right, so we'll be wrapping up the discussion very soon. If you have questions, please put up your hand. Caleb will get you a microphone. Please tell us your name.
Thank you for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. I'm Diana Osei, and I want to ask a question about getting out of debt. Yes. Some of us here have shared how maybe we made some bad investments and we've lost our money, or anything you can relate with, and now you're in debt, but you have to live every day. So are there any practical steps we can use to get out of debt so we can start building our wealth?
Okay, so Diana,
Thank you.
the question is, how do I get out of debt?
Take about 3 questions.
Take 3 questions.
Yes,
right?
then thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jeremiah, final year computer engineering student at Academic City. And my question is, some of us have great startup ideas we want to turn into businesses, right? But also there's this sort of responsibility that we feel we are trying to fall in. So that me like this, I'm a final year student. After I graduate, I'm looking at, okay, there are some siblings I have behind me who are looking up to me that, oh, big brother is going to drop us some coins and all that. We also have this, we have these difficulties when you're trying to get a startup fully rolling, right? I want to know, maybe Ms. Charmaine may have more experience since you've worked with startups. When is it the best time to get your startup running?
Okay.
Yeah.
When is the best time to get your startup running? Please tell us your name as well and make your question as brief and precise as possible.
Okay, I'm Charles Granton, and Mr. Harrison made mention of that we should overcome our distractions. And I want to ask him that how do we overcome our distractions when someone wants to start a business but doesn't have the enough money or the necessary financial capacity to start, but that's the only distraction he's having? How can he put that one aside and focus on other parts that will help the person start the business, and when the person gets the money, he can come back and continue with everything?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
First batch, done.
So the first one is, Dana spoke about debt, right?
Yeah, debt.
So the first question is, how did you get there in the first place? Because if you don't, so the interesting thing is that we need to be sincere how you got there and be frank with yourself that if I'm able to get out of this situation, I won't come. Because some of you, as we speak now, if I want to send you mobile money now, you give me another person's number. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So it's interesting. As much as possible, there are times that an investment might go wrong. There are times that there's something that you thought you could manage and get some funds to sort out, and you go for a loan. I don't know the terms. She mentioned about the various friends and families, sometimes fools and all those stuff. Now, once you got into a debt, you have to think of a debt sustainability. So I owe Caleb 1,000 cedis. I might not be able to pay all the 1,000 cedis in this month. I need to go to Caleb and have a discussion and say that, listen, I owe you 1,000 cedis. Spread it for me over the next 5-6 months. And you have to be very sincere about the repayment. Do you understand? Now, what you have done is that instead of paying all the 1,000 cedis at one, you have paid 100 cedis in the first month. You have a 900 cedis that you can invest or turn around, and you should be careful where you can put it to get something to come and pay the next repayment. The second thing is that do not add on other liabilities whilst you are paying the current one. So you are paying Caleb the 100 cedis and you are incurring other debts in addition. You can't sustain it. The final thing is, as much as you can, please live within your means. There are things that you can control. It is not everything that you need to get. It is not everything that you need to have now. There are some of the things you can defer. You have shoes, more than 8, and you still want to buy the 9th one on credit. Why are you wearing it to? There are some dresses in your wardrobe for the past 2 years, you have not worn them, but you still want to buy new dresses. So that's why I asked that, how did you get there? If you don't know how you got there, it'll be very difficult for you to know how you're going to come out. Let me quickly answer the third question, and then we'll move from there. So what he wants to know about the distractions. The first thing is that, senior, whether we like it or not, all of us have an idea. I don't want you to think and be fixated that money is a big distraction. Collaborations, network, ability to serve helps us a lot. I know a lot of people who have ideas. Yes, they shelved it for a year or two just to go into apprenticeship. They went into mentorship. They went into coaching for them to build capacity so that at the appropriate time, they'll be able to leave that distraction out. If you are waiting for that money to come before you start that business, it's going to be difficult. I had a friend who lost her job when the banks collapsed. And guess what? She was very anxious how she was going to live. So we had a discussion. You have a gas cooker at home, you can cook, at least you cook for your family to eat. So you can cook something. So we went to the next woman who sells rice in bags. And we said, give us 2 olonka of rice in the morning, I will pay in the evening. She cooks that rice in the morning, puts up a beautiful smile, makes sure the rice tastes nice. The rice got finished by 3 p.m. She goes and pays for the olonka of rice that she bought. The next day she went for 3 olonka, 4 olonka. Now she has a spot. It's the mindset. Do you get it? If you have something that you have that you can turn around, please turn around and stop waiting for that money to come from somewhere. It might not come. And even if it come, it might come with some conditionalities that it might suffocate the idea you have. So please believe and collaborate. Apprentice, learn to be an apprentice, learn to be a mentor, learn from somebody, learn to start small but think global. And I believe very soon you'll come out tops. So Charmaine, you should be able to take the one on venture capital.
Charmaine, Jeremiah was asking about starting, wanting to start up, but you have so many responsibilities or so much responsibilities. At what point do you start?
Okay, so that's a really good question. As someone who is seeking investment, when I'm investing in a startup, if I'm going to give you $1.2 million, I need to know that you can manage your load, that you understand what you're getting into, and that your commitments are something that you take seriously. So I'm glad that you asked that. It's very important. I think that in the process of understanding what you can manage, it's about starting small. You are still working your 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or whatever hours you work, and you are saving small towards your goal financially. But it's not just about the money. I need you to understand that it's also about what you can lend as a leader. Being a person with a great idea does not make you a great founder. Being someone that can lead people or that can offer some value add is what makes you a great founder. So if you cannot organize yourself, a good founder will find someone who can organize on your behalf. I have 6 companies and I don't have to be in my office. I can be here in Ghana and my office in London are running without me because I'm good at delegating. I can tell people this is what I need you to do and I need you to pass that down to 60 other team members. I need you guys to start to think big. Think outside of you being the person in the shop having to do things. Think about the people within your network. When I talk about crowdfunding earlier, I'm not just talking about crowdfunding cities. Crowdfund the people that are great within your circle. And if you don't have anyone that is great within your circle, stop speaking to Nana about Susie's business. Yeah? Stop kakakaka about other people. Sit down and find new people that you can network with and can help to build. If you have someone who is great within your circle, what are they great at? How can they assist you? How can you assist them in return? How can you build together? Because your future depends on you. Future generations of your family depend on you. And if you want to raise finance, then your personal brand is very, very important. How people look at you is important. How you deal with people in your workplace is important. I must note that the first couple of million that was secured for the fund was secured by someone who had worked underneath us. But because they understood that we had great character, they introduced us to their new boss when they were, I think, 8 years later and said, you invest in funds. These people are raising a fund of $50 million. They want extra money to add to their own. They are great. I can tell you they're great because they led me in a great way. They made me change my perception. This boy was a street boy and changed the way that he thought and decided that he was going to go into business ventures and into finance. I didn't even know he was doing this. So when we reached out, it was like, this is actually amazing because it's proof that you have to treat everybody amazingly. Treat the caretaker the same way as you treat the big man in your circle, okay? Thank you for the applause, makes me feel really good. You can do it again if you want.
Do we have more questions? Any more questions? Please come down.
Okay, so
really
we'll take,
about this.
Because of time, we'll have another panel discussion.
Okay.
And so we'll take 2 questions quickly.
Sure.
And then we'll do the next session before the next panel discussion. So please, 2 questions real quick. Very straight to the point.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And please, I'd like to know, assuming, thank you very much. Please, I'd like to know, assuming I start up a business and it's going so well, I believe that at some point in time, there'll be losses, like it will go down. I'd like to know, how can I rise up as a boss on my own, managing a business that is just collapsed? I want to know. Thank you.
Yes.
So the question is, what took you up? No, you get it. You were doing something right. Maybe your customer service or experience was great. Your relationship management was excellent. Your work ethics was awesome. Your delivery, everything was on point. That was what propelled you to the level that you got to. It could be that you might have stopped doing those things, or it could be that you took the eye off competition. So a story is told about Nokia, the company. When you were growing up, if you have a Nokia phone, you're a guy, Charlie, big boy, especially the 3310, you know, like, even if it falls 10 times, you pick it, Charlie, you know what I mean? So what did Nokia do? They kept their eye off the competition alone, and today what do we have? They've lost the market totally. Even if I give you a Nokia phone now, you might not even know how to, it will attract, it won't be attractive to you. So please, be careful what took you up. You leverage on that and keep getting better. Don't be complacent when you get to the top. Don't take your eye off competition. Keep the work ethics very, very close to your heart, so that when you even have to fall, you know that this is what is causing the problem. And then when you fall, again, companies have turned things around by collaboration, by being sincere, by adopting to technology, and I'm sure you can scale it. So please, be careful what took you there, and be careful what is going to bring you down.
One final question. Okay. All right. So this is where we draw the curtain.
The final one is here.
I said one final. Now I'm now seeing about 4 people raise their hands. So what I'll do is, please keep your question. We'll wrap this up. We begin with the next session, and then you can ask your questions. Is that fair? All right. Thank you very much. So that's how we draw the curtain for this session. Yes. Thank you very much, Charmaine and Harrison.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, let's put our hands together better for them. Great. Lovely. And great job, Zoe. Okay, can we all rise up a bit? You've been sitting for a while. I want us to do a very quick exercise, and we'll segue into the next session. Everyone. Okay. All right. You thought we were going to do an exercise, eh? We won't do an exercise. What we are going to do is very simple. Whatever I will say, you have to continue, because I know in my heart that you know the next thing. Do you understand? Do you have a deal? So when I say skatokoma putu, what will you say? Then it has to be loud, because the way you are doing is like you are not confident to be sano. Voice no one. No, ya penisa, skatokoma putu. Wait, is the problem with my voice or you, your voice? Me, my voice. They must say that's how it's supposed to be. Maseno. I went to First Line in Kumasi, and then I met a woman. She was like, "One day, let me say, I'm on the car. Let me say, sit there. I say, skilede, John Muhammad Putu, John Muhammad. Please, we have Stonebwoy in the building. Make some noise! Oh, make some noise, make some noise! We have Beam. Beam Nation is in the house. Everybody, my Pelele, girl says she wants some. Oh, after she see Pande, come on, Chioban, come in, my Pelele. What's it saying? Means you. Like I bet the Pelele in the 90s. Come on, deal with it. Deal with that thing, girl. You gotta deal with it. I deal with that thing, girl. Asan, put your hands together, man. Now, this year we are filling the O2 Arena. Stonebwoy, I'm coming with you, you understand? Put your hands together. Welcome, Livingston HS Seteka, as we hand over the stadium. Mrs. Stadium, the podium. Thank you, Stone. Good to have you. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me. I go by the name Livingstone Eche Satekla. It's all about money. I think the most money people have spoken. So for a hustler like you and I think it's always good to have our perspective as well added to the whole, you know. Most often, I tend to come from the background of, hey, they make it sound so smooth. Like, it's easy to save money, it's easy to make money. To be honest, when I read certain books and I get the opportunity to join a panel like this, you know, you feel inspired. While I was sitting there, she was, whilst answering about being a leader and that, you know, what I picked from it is inspiration. I was inspired. I'm still, you know, drawing energies to, because I look at myself like, am I a leader? She said something about a great leader and something. Like, I know the question is rhetoric, but to me, I'm just asking myself again to see where I really do stand. It's like a self-test, you know, to know whether we're continuing to put things in place, consciously or subconsciously, to keep the money running. I think 3 days ago, coincidentally, I made I posted a tweet that says, nowadays it feels like all we are here to do on earth is to look for money. And I think I got the, hold on, let me check it out. I got the most interaction ever on Twitter. Like the shares and the retweets. Then I've always wondered, we've all been wondering, because it's just like every day when we wake up, it's all about money. Like it's about money so much so that money is the purpose why we live. You know, to that extent, thinking about it in that way, I feel scared. I feel so scared because looking around me from where I come from and where I still stand, I don't belong to the class of the elite. Neither do I belong to the, you know, political class of, you know, rulers, you know, because I understand very well. I may not find the right words, but I know there are classes in life you have to accept and understand. That's how you can also, you know how to move. I don't fall up in any of those categories. I'm a ghetto boy. You know what I mean? I'm always proud to share it. I rose from the streets of Ashaiman, helping my mother selling, you know, we're talking about money, so, you know, just to take you guys down the line a little bit. But fortunately for me, I had bigger siblings, so they took the load of selling the book floats and everything else. My mom could make any form of local pastry, meat pie. And on the other hand, I would just be sharing it to my friends. To be honest, I'm a person, so I'm super generous, like on that level. So I make sure I am the gang leader. It's not like I make sure. Naturally, I think I get surrounded with people that I have to sort out. So I'm the rat in my mother's store, giving the achomo out, the achipipi out, the belikaklo out, just touching it. And sometimes taking money, not stealing money. It belongs to my parents. Taking money to buy football for. But growing up, I realized that all what I was doing was reducing capital drastically. So in the end, after they do all the calculations and they have to order some more goods, you find out that mommy has to find money from somewhere else and add to. So guess what? After somewhere JSS, SS1, when I started making money on the street, I know someone is thinking, what was I doing at that time? I can't go too much into details, else I'll be in the headlines. You know, Ashama boys don't play. So unfortunately, also, you know, there was a down surge in my father's finance. I was fortunate. I always say that because that's what has brought me here. We were the dada bars in the hood, in the ghetto. We went to the best schools in the ghetto. You know what I mean? Yes. So when things went more downwards, we felt the heat a lot. And me as the first boy, though the fourth born, I took it upon myself to hit the road hard. Then I realized that she still traded. Now she was trading in sacks of maize, and you know, she's always been a trader. Anytime she sells and all of that, now she needs to order. I'm realizing that from when I used to, and then now I have to be the one to add up some of the capital. So money-wise, business-wise, I learned a certain principle right from that time, that you don't spend your capital. Sometimes you think you're making profit, but for you, the young starter, the young entrepreneur, you don't have any money. I think all you do, I don't have financial terms for it, I'm not a financial expert, but all you do is to continue to put your money into the job. And that's what I've done the whole of my life till today. All I do is, I'm quick to invest into me than spend what comes out. And therefore, you find out that I try to live modest. I am not too flashy, and I don't 100% believe in faking anything or creating an image out there that you have to keep up, which is a lie. You know, there's nothing wrong with creating an image, because in today's era, you have an image. Somebody has a constant filter they use every day. But when you see them in person, you have to understand that you don't have to be angry. We are in the metaverse world where avatars are accepted. So that is their avatar. And this face right here is a real one. So you have to know how to keep. So imagine I can't financially keep up with my second image. I think I'll be doing so much. I'll be giving so much resources, because money is the end result. I believe that real money is what you can sell to make money. Real money is what you can sell to make money, the ideas, the resources, because this one is just paper. The value itself is what you have, you know, so you can have talent, you can have skills and all of that. Where was I before I dodged? Oh, sometimes. Anyway, so basically, yes, keeping up with the image. Keeping up with the image. I think financially it doesn't make sense. So to start with, I'm saying this because most of us here sometimes feel some pressure, although we're not celebrities. We're not, you know, we feel some pressure of keeping up your clothes. When I walk, a man say that H2 you don't need. And it makes a lot of sense. He's breaking it down in the simplest way. That doesn't mean you have to wear one cloth every day. But if that is what you have, my brother, don't let anybody step you down or think otherwise, bro. No. My father once tells me before he started, he says he had only one and slept under on tables in Nima them times. You know, he washes them and wears them back and that. So one problem I've always had with my people, so when I was coming here, to be honest, this is the second time I'm wearing this shirt, as expensive as it is. You know, and when I bring say, what should I? So even me, I'll be like, okay, me the car, no, me try picture, baby, wow. I know so. I hope you guys can understand it. Yeah. So I checked it. I'm like, okay, this one. You see, this is reality, and just to tell you how example, I'm making an example of how I balance in between that image and the reality of financing that image to break it down. You know. So when I pulled it out, my guy ironed my house guy ironed it, and we found this. I'm like, it's the only one that can suit what I'm actually, how I want to feel this morning. Then I'm like, wife was like, no. So I actually ran away, you know. Then I'm like, you know what? In my mind, what I said to myself was, it could be that I just hacked somebody over here and they put makeup. Yeah, so that's the mentality I just placed up. And nothing is wrong with it. It's all you know. So keeping up appearances by spending money unnecessarily is something that I think I don't really buy, you know. And we're talking about money, no? So these are some ways of saving stuff, you know, and we have to build a lot of self-confidence as well, you know, because I think it's also important. All these morals are important in business. Like he said, you need to turn things around. Sometimes all these shoes we buy and wear and that, you can resell them because you don't need them. You can resell them and it's allowed. Somebody might, because they don't even have the money or haven't worked enough to that same shoe to even resell, will cost you on Twitter and everything like, this one doesn't resell, this one is reselling and that. Like, the people who can't do anything at all or have the least are the ones who actually drag people, to be honest, for being honest with themselves in managing their lives, you know. So I, as someone who is in the media, I just leaves longer for me. Like, I think once at a time I had to even think and say, okay, what kind of haircut do I want to use for this business? So that once you're attractive to people, it's all about money, how you can make your money. I realized that, okay, I have to keep it in a modest way so that I can live with it naturally. So all these ones are steps that you surely would have to even take to, like, you know, understand how to go about life and business itself. Basically, I do save a lot. And I think if it was just about me, my expenditure would be very, 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 very low, because that's just how I've lived my life, basically. So savings is really important, they say. But most importantly, sometimes we need to find what our monies can turn around for us, you know, because I know that when you put your monies in these banks, they give you something on top, and they're telling us to save, to save, to save. And that is where the risk comes, where you're going to take that money that you've hustled for to save, what you're going to do with it to try to, because I know everybody over here would want to be the CEO, the boss, the leader, everybody. But like the man rightfully said, it's not everybody that can become a leader. Everybody should find their respective roles that they can play in making sure the team wins, you know, because when the team wins, everybody gets a quota of whatever there be. So you guys should ask me questions so I can be able to go specific. Thank you so much. Yeah. I know I was supposed to talk about I have this, I have that, I've done this. I'm sorry.
That's fine. There's a young man who actually came here because of you. He says he's a Nigerian. He wants to blow like you. So come, we are blowing this year. You and I. Yeah, that's the vim, man. That's the vim. But for Money Summit, some of us will never have met Stonebwoy, you know. Today he had me, you know. I won't bath tonight before sleeping, you know. Yeah. Please bring your question.
I want to see you clearly. Your future so bright, sir. So, anyway, I came here because of you, because I'm a recording artist myself.
Yeah.
And I've been following you for quite some time now, ever since I came to Ghana. Yeah, I've been following you. You've been like my favorite because you're like chill. And I like that. I'm not whining, I'm not whining, it's true. So yeah, my question is this. As a recording artist, right, I found out very quickly that streams is not where the most of the money is made from. I used to think that, but I found out very quickly. So what do you do to, how do you spread your wealth? Like, where did they come from? And like, how do you manage all that and still be blowing, you understand?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, we shall all be wealthy in Jesus' name.
Amen. Prophet Stone.
And the reality is we are all wealthy because we carry value. It's only how to turn things around now that matters. Some of us are trying small, and the account is smiling. Others too, you know. How I do it is I keep things in perspective. Basically, I have personnel who manage different areas and then are accountable to me in the end. Sometimes it's on a daily basis, some of the stuff, sometimes it's on weekly or monthly basis. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I didn't know how deep to go again about how I manage to spread things across. That's why I'm like, I have persons in place who manage different aspects. And especially as a recording artist, yes, you said you found out that most of the money doesn't come from the streams, but money from stream is really important as well. Money from stream is very important because realistically, just yesterday when we thought about one of my travel trips to the UK, you know, when my business manager called, I'm like, Joe, what's up? And then we were speaking about what to do, where we're going to get, you know, where we're going to draw that money from. I'm being very honest with you. And then it came to him, I'm like, Joe, now stream side, so he said, Mommy, 5 minutes. Comes back and there's enough to buy 3 business class tickets to UK and back. Then I'm like, yeah, then let's take it from there. Meanwhile, 4 days ago, I was thinking. So this is how you leave monies to grow in different parts and have different people manage that. So that's how I do, like when I say I have people manage different things, you know. So make sure all aspects, you know, and you should also actually invest in yourself and make sure you are your boss. You see, in the music world, once you are your own boss and you manage to grow to that point where everybody else works for you, you see greater share of the money. And then you also now have probably capital to do a lot of things and not just waste it. But if you are like signed on now as an artist and all that, I think your bosses and stuff, I have always been my own boss from when I was an underground. So I can afford to take certain decisions that will be risky, but probably the end result would, you know, elevate me twice more than, you know. So it's just about how you manage it. And continue to record lots of music. It only takes one song to break through. One song. So keep kicking, I beg. Yeah. Even me, I'm still looking for that song. All right. Even me, I'm still looking for that one song every day. Hey. To be consistent. So I'm always in the studio, always. Like yesterday, I have stories to say. Like, you know, so me, I'm looking for that song. That song that will blow the whole world. Then I know I've gotten to that level. And I'll be honest, if anybody asks me, Stone, you reach? I'll say, yeah, I reach. Because what else? But for now, I'm just like you, on a different level.
That's a good one. Thank you so much. Any more questions, please come. 2. Okay, we have 3. Fine. Please, 3 of you, come quickly. Stones, your perspective on intellectual property for those who are in the creative art industry, briefly.
Thank you very much. For intellectual property, it's all about ownership. Now, the latest thing that has emerged is the NFTs that are running, and we're all reading and learning about it to see how we can take our intellectual property to the next level of making, profit from there and investing into different areas to continue to keep our money flow. So that's my perspective. And also, it's really important to know, about the copyright and right of intellectual property. Else, you have people swindling you and owning them for you just because you need an opportunity or you need a break. You need to be seen or you need to be known.
Okay, my name is Sweet. Hi, Stone.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you in person.
Yeah.
My question is, when we meet great people like you, you all tell us we are wealthy, we will be great and all that. But the reality is that when you blow, actually blow, you would have to be with somebody like you. I am not a singer and I cannot rap like you do. But I want to be the stone boy or stone girl at my corner where I am. Yeah. So if people are looking at us to be like you, they want us to associate ourselves with people like you. For example, my Instagram page, when I opened, I followed myself and my husband followed me. And so then nobody followed me for like months. So, so I was like, wow. Until I met Nawa Shoko, she posted me and people started following.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we are to blow, we are hoping that you, as you see us, help us. And what you can do to help us is that take a picture with one of us or someone, post it on your page. Yes. So me, I purposely came because I came because of you. I'm a mother of one. I gave birth like 3 months ago. I decided not to sleep at home. I will come to meet you, take a picture of you or with you, and then invite you to wherever I'm going.
Okay.
And somewhere I bet you are going with me. Because what I do, I'm relaunching it next week.
Which is right.
Next week, Saturday, I do fascinators.
Yeah.
I completed school and for like 5 years, no job. So I decided to take a skill and start a business of my own.
Yeah.
And I'm not flourishing because I'm not perhaps with Stone Boy or Jackie or some. And I've decided to flourish in this 2022.
By fire, by force.
So next week, please, I want you to represent at my opening. It wouldn't be a big thing. It will be small, but I want to blow dynamite, like blow rocks and mountain with my small corner or my small business. So please, are you in or out?
Yes, I respect that. I respect that a lot. I respect that a lot. I perfectly understand where you're coming from. So I will just ask a few questions and I'll also share with you the reality pertaining to that association or that affiliation that you seek.
Okay.
So that mutually we can benefit each other. Most often it becomes that we have gotten to, it's assumed that we have gotten to a point where we are known so much so that we can afford to now, if that is a piece of a pie, begin to cut that piece of a pie and share until there's nothing left. You know what I mean? But it's not supposed to be seen, we're not supposed to be seen like we've gotten to a point where we can afford to just affiliate and attach with anybody, just anybody, to draw that value that we have and are still building. Because imagine I'm fetching water into the pond and you are fetching it out, where we both don't have the understanding of how we can make this triple for us, even though you feel like my pond is full. You know what I mean? So the thing is, since you say you want to blow, we can engage. Because somebody gave you a free picture and it went viral. I might give you another free one right now also and probably tag you on my page. And I know fans, followers, and loved ones and critics will want to also go and follow to see what you do, and business might grow. But in reality, what do I gain?
More fans.
In reality, what do I gain? Is it that I have enough not to think again or feel like there is a need to also continue to maintain that value because we're all still growing? The Jeff Bezoses are still running things. They're not dashing $1 million because, they have programs and initiatives and business stuff that they tend to, if I give you money, I'm an investor, I'm a da-da-da. Have you seen any investor who's dashed it for free, 300% free before?
Thank you very much.
You guys are in uni now. You know the book matters that goes behind the scenes that gives them back their value. If not, even take more of yours and add to theirs. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the reality. What would you be willing to? We should understand how we're going to do this. Most often, some of us, I'm just thinking out loud, can partner with you in what you're doing if we do believe in you enough to see the business aspect of it and our benefits as well that would reciprocate for the value that we're going to be adding to you when we step in to do the marketing. Or because I use your fascinator, I mean, I'm a man. You know, people tend to come and buy it, and people, you know, so you have to also think about the value that you can give to me, right, or we can give each other. Then we get into a partnership or an agreement, yeah, and blow it all up. So most often it doesn't have to be Stonebwoy, or you see the stars when they come, when they're hustling, they open several different avenues. Yeah. Most often it doesn't have to even be my idea. It's your idea, but we sit and then you run it. Then whatever part I play, you know, that I can also run properly for you to enlarge your market and all that one, and be like a proper influencer and ambassador for your brand, then we do it.
Great.
Claire?
Thank you. That's a good one. Thanks. Your name, your question.
Please, my name is Kempon, and thank you very much for... Please, my question is... Actually, my brother is a musician. He's a producer at the same time and as an artist. But before he became an artist, we realized that the music world, as we used to see it, is different from how it is. So I want to know...
Really, because of the puff, if you can help me, yeah.
I said my brother is a producer, an artist, good. But we've come to realize that things are different from how we used to see the music world. Or I want to say things are not moving how we wanted it to move. So I want to ask, is it because of where he is, or maybe there's something that he is doing not right? I mean, the location of where he is.
Where is
For we believe music travels, yeah, and therefore even if you are in the valley, it will still travel. But here's the case, not so. And secondly, I believe I've read a lot about you, and you didn't find it easy coming up. So I know sometimes as students or as young people, we would have an idea, the business idea, and then in Ghana here, the everyday trouble that we have or the problem we have is the finance. So we see people and then we try to tell them our ideas, but they discourage us, and at the end we realize that what we told them is what they are using because they have money. So as an artist coming up, I'm sure you met something like that. I mean, tell someone this is what I want to do, and they say you can't do it. You've come far, so how did you come? Thank you.
So what's your question? Please relax.
Thank you. I think I understand that part of the question, except you have another one.
No,
first, I was asking you, where does he live? Because you were talking about his location being Tema.
Tema, Conti 25.
Okay. Yeah. But are you aware there are producers and musicians in the north as well? In yes. Tamale. Okay, so I think location-wise, it counts, but since music is sold online, you know, and you said the travels are it's easy to travel, right? Yo, I've been answering this question. I don't even know how to go about this. All right, the thing is, everything takes time. You see, the Stonebwoy of today, I didn't start yesterday. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes, what I even believe in is that these days it's easier to blow. Because when I was coming up somewhere 2003, 2004, the YouTubes and the rest were just emerging, you know, properly. So there was no, you know, I couldn't go viral in a minute. So you had to be a Kubolo, actually. You have to have been through Nima, Dansuman, Mamobi, Kaswa, Bujumbura, Winneba. Like, you have to be there to be known. So we took time to comb all these areas. From Koforidua, where haven't I been? That was how we had to do it, because there was no social media influence at that time where you could brand stuff properly and put it out there and even pay for promotion. These days you can pay, you can advertise, there are so many avenues. So I find it interesting to know that it is really rather easier to blow in these times more than it used to be, but now it tends to being difficult to maintain. That is what it really is. So for your brother, producer, musician, let him continue to be working hard like we always say. Find a plan, see who they might be willing to meet, and believe that when they meet this person, they can have that discussion, like you said, an idea that could lead to, most often, the ones that will invest in your ideas are not the people that you're looking up to so much. It's just you and your peers having to be very realistic of what opportunities you have and how you have to stretch that one till it tears for somebody to join in from, from where it ends. And that's how we did it. Right. Absolutely. No shortcuts. No two ways about it. Guess what? At this juncture, I'm still looking towards conquering the globe. So you can imagine the tons of work that I have to still do. So what I want to say is that don't envision anybody as they've gotten to where they want to. So now it's you that really deserves or need that help. With that mindset, you'll always be feeling away and probably be hating on people who, like myself, But what you should understand is that we're also going through the same things that you're going through at a different level. Yeah. So the struggle never ends.
Thank you. All right. Your question straight to the point, please.
Okay. Hi, Stoneboy.
Boss man.
My name is Suzy. I'm a musician. I'm very chill like you. Yes.
Yeah. Suzy, this one you give us freestyle. All this.
Yes. Make I drop something now. Well, make I drop something now.
After.
Okay, I'm ready. My things there outside. I pack everything for you.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So let me go down to my question. Yeah. All right. I'm releasing an EP on the 12th of February. It's called The New Wave. It will be on all platforms. Yeah. When I look at the plans I have for that EP, like I want it to be the #1 on Apple Music on Ghana.
Confidence.
When I look at the plans I have for the EP, and I look at my pockets, it's not convincing.
It doesn't tally.
You understand? Now, you have been in my situation before, although things have changed a bit. Now, if
I love you for that, although things have changed a bit.
Now, if you were in my position, an artist, only me and my best friend is my manager, how would you start from being the normal guy everybody knows today, the next O2 Arena guy, what's the advice you would give to me to say, you know what, this is the way to go?
Actually, fair enough. It's good to always have a plan, so that when you hit with the resources you have, when you strike the plan with the resources you have, it might not actually hit the plan, but it will move a step further, which is what we mostly fail to recognize, that we have at least moved further. Your aim of hitting #1 song with the EP that you're about to release is the best, because then there's a plan. And then you look at your money, probably how does the song hit #1 on Apple? Have you find out?
Yeah, how does it? The fastest way right now is mostly if you get the blogs to put your song on the Cracks TV, or you are the next TikTok sensation, or you physically go to the top places in Ghana and say, hey, yo, this is my next project. The next time you are popping bottles, can you do this for me? Which I've physically been to those places. They almost bounce me out.
So you have the plan. You have the plan. You are working it. That's every entrepreneur over here will tell you have the plan, and that's amazing. I had the plan. I actually sat and said, let me merge Afrobeat with dancer. And then I was going so hard at it, and it became what it is now. When I actually won the BETs for that style in 2015, I was just being like, yo, it was surreal for me. But then I had to sit back and realize that it has paid off. It just paid off. Things that I would have loved to do at that time, my finances couldn't really still do. And there are things that I want to do at this time that my finances can't do now. It wouldn't make sense for me when I wrap everything around. So I have to actually tone it down. but still keep the same aim and see how far I can hit close to that aim. So, bro, you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right. It's about the finances. But I know now the thing is, there is no institution in this country that our creative arts and all these ones are not really strong. It's not even strong to be not, you know. Else we would find ways where financial institutions can, you know, jump in. Once they see your sales record, your track record, they can lend you monies at your level. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, just keep doing you and let's vibe. Okay. Who knows?
Can I freestyle for them?
Can you freestyle?
Okay. Okay. So this freestyle is
make sure this freestyle. It's a make and break because this is an audience right here. We're catching all these numbers to add to our following. Because it's a numbers game. Let's go.
Okay, so this freestyle is for my EP coming out on the 12th of February. It's called Vibe. So you go feel the vibe and the chemistry order. If you take your chance with me for sure. Cause I go make you smile, I go make you feel alright. You go feel the vibe and the chemistry order. If you take your chance with me for sure. Cause I go make you smile, I go make you feel alright. If you give your heart to me, I go kill you with enjoyment. I go make sure you enjoy it.
Big up, big up, big up. You see where his mind is. He wants to take somebody's heart and kill them with enjoyment. And today's women, the enjoyment level, please, have you finished investing in your music? Anyway, but that's dope, that's dope. I know they loved it, so please do well. You know what? Can you please share your Instagram handle and stuff, because it's really, it's practical. We're being practical.
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram at IamSeezy, IAM_SEEZY. IAM_SEEZY. My EP is dropping on the 12th of February. I have tunes for the garden. Every type of song is there. Thank you.
You see? Okay, so this is just a great avenue. You just added something to your plan.
Absolutely.
True or false?
True.
Practically, that's how we do it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. This is the final one. Yeah, please put your hands together for him. By the way, do you see the aggression our friends who say nation put into their dreams? Do you understand? You don't understand? Forget about it. Hello, Wangba.
Hey, boss.
Please, I go by the name Gogo. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You're
actually everywhere.
Everywhere.
I know you, pa. Yeah, nice to meet you again.
Same. Please, the money we earn from our art as a professional dancer or a musician is the same money we used to do our rounds. Like, you need to invest it back. You can get 400 CDs right now. You open your eyes closed. 50 Ghana, bundle. You use the money to maybe shoot your next video, shadows, you also, please, I want to ask how you still manage to save from what you be earning from the act, and please advise me the small way me too I can save.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Actually, you are doing well, you know. Because honestly, I know you. I'll never pretend I don't. I know you personally. Where from social media? Because you keep tagging and tagging and tagging. So I see some. My administration sees some. So I think that's another way to go. And you know, we've met at a few venues where I've actually asked you on stage. You know me, I do spontaneous stuff. I like to always, let's keep rising and lifting as we go. So, and you've actually asked me this before, and I think I answered. It's really not easy like they say. Because at this juncture, you might not be making enough to even save any. All will be like from hand to mouth. It will still keep recycling, But there's surely value. Because once you're recycling and putting it back inside of you, you're growing actually. One time, your job will, your pay is going to increase from that. because from level 1, you like whatever you get right now, you say you take cars, you go here, to go and shoot, and that you keep the same way. You're gonna surely make profit. So it's very, at this level, you're just investing in yourself. So to think about saving right now from that particular income, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if there are experts here. How can he save? Because if he's getting 400 CDs and his expenditure is like 350.
Save 4 CDs. Save something small, or save your time small, so that you can invest your human capital. Sometimes it's not just about the money. Sometimes you have to invest a little bit of your time into moving forward. How can you help someone else and they can save on your behalf? How can you use your platform? You are tagging Stonebwoy every minute. How can you tag Stonebwoy in something that can help your friend's venture or startup so that they can get more money? And then you tell them, when Stonebwoy posts this, I want 5%. You understand? And then you save that rather than having to save something that you don't yet have.
Nice. Thank you.
So I think basically it's about the education. You know, and you've been sitting here quite earlier. You've been fortunate. I think I'll get my fair share of the lessons later when I'm starting to link up with her and all of that. So we have a lot to learn, actually, and there's a lot to read and know how to maneuver in this economy. Because, bro, honestly, I see myself as you. You know what I mean? Like, you guys know how close I am to the core. You know, and I understand what you guys go through. That's why every time when I see you, when I don't even invite you, you guys know how I do now. Yeah.
Thank you. A round of applause, everybody. I really had a short time, and it's been good. Stone, you have to go, I know.
I'm very grateful.
You have to go.
I hope everything I've said here makes sense, and I've learned from, you know.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
But we have to take picture, hello?
Yes, we
and
will.
the thing is there has to be social distance. So this is the time, a good time. Yes, we'll be here. Please, and please join us. Stone has his final words, or maybe a freestyle or something.
It's nice to just say thank you for, you know, because I didn't say that I needed to close. Yeah. So thank you for having me, and thank you very much. And same way, you guys can follow me at Stonebwoy on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. Yeah. So I make like what's it?
Like some freestyle, be something like that. Most original, I believe you.
So right now, thank you very much.
Do something.
Oh.
Do something. Do something. Do something.
Okay, all right. Since it's about money, say, hustling from Choco to Mambo B, from assignment to Kotobabi, with a burn under the sun, but still give Jaja the glory. Well then. Sometimes he be dog chain at the carry, meat pie raw at the rush at the hurry, that about for where it be like say Karayo I go marry. Waiting be my own, yeah. I'm not in this alone, because somebody they sweat for the air conditioner below me though. Waiting be my own, yeah. I'm not in this alone, because somebody they sweat for the air conditioner below me though. Say me give me TV bomb, na say one day yeah. Na say one day yeah. One of done when I want a veggie attitude. Say me give me TV bomb, na say one day yeah. Oh man, na say one day yeah. One of done when I want a veggie attitude. Nobody knows, nobody. What's he say? So nobody knows. No tomorrow. Nobody no. Nobody no. Nobody no tomorrow. That's why I say don't come in name. If you ask with me from the beginning, oh what a shame. Why do you want me to fail at the end of the day?
Don't call me name. If you don't hustle with me from the beginning, oh, what a shame. Why do you want me to fail at the end of the day? You only know my name. You don't know my story. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. You only know my name. You don't know my story. Oh, no, no, no. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Please, we'll take a picture now. Everybody, please rise on your feet now. You will take a picture. Or we should sit down. Or we should sit. Some of you are short, but you are at the back. It's okay, I understand. I understand. Maybe just cut your picture. Okay, cut down the picture. Please, a round of applause for everybody. You've been awesome, you've been warm, and thank you so much. Eno Green, are you here? Please, we're about to move to the next level of the conversation, and so far it's been good. Please put your hands together for everybody, and for Stonebwoy, our superstar who came through. We are so grateful. Okay, so tough. Cool. How am I going to get this? Okay. All right. Are you ready for the next level? Please, are you ready for the next level? Have you settled in now? Good. Eno Green, what about you? And we've been following you everywhere.